looks like we are... Should be okay. Huh? Yep, and we are live. Holy shit, this scheduled stream actually worked this time.
Oof.
Yeah.
Y'all remember last time it kind of shit the bed, but here we are.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the stream the last time, but yeah, we're back.
Let's not look at get force in the mouth.
Yeah. Welcome to another edition of Weaponized Autism. For once, Kaysen is actually on time.
Yeah, I was on time last time, you fuck.
And, yeah, we're, as you can see from the title, yeah, we've got a little bit of some different content for you guys tonight. As you can see from the different, background, I've got the Devil May Cry wallpaper here, and that's because we have a interesting, we have a new segment in place tonight where we're going to, see about if we can use ChatGPT. We're going to mess around with some AI to see about to see about assembling a Devil May Cry film adaptation, preferably one that is faithful to Devil May Cry and is not handled by the biggest tourist in Hollywood, Adi Shankar.
And we're probably just mostly going to stick to movies based on video games who have somehow not had an adaptation yet.
Yeah. Or ones that have been adapted, but their adaptations heavily missed the mark. But
talking to you, Agent 4.
I honestly didn't mind the 2007 movie, but that was more of a Luc Besson action film than a Hitman movie.
I personally didn't really care for either of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That is very fair.
I'll still watch them, but in terms of adaptations, I didn't really care for them.
Yeah. While I don't mind it, the Max Payne movie really misses the mark. I mean, all they had to do was make film noir John Woo, and boom, that the movie writes itself.
Yeah. And and he's covered some John Woo here on the channel in the past.
But before we get started, if you're watching the stream, if you've got something to say, or you just wanna start a conversation with us, feel free to make your voice heard in the chat, and we would love to talk to you. Before we get over to ChatGPT, I have a major announcement to make. You can see we're going over to Wattpad. I have begun posting what I hoped it was my debut novel or novella on Wattpad, The Springfield Snatching. And the best way I can describe this story is it's like a hybrid of Taken with those 80s, those dark and gritty action thrillers of the 70s and 80s, the kind of stuff you would see starring like Clint Eastwood or Charles Bronson or Sylvester Stallone.
Dude, Taken with Charles Bronson sounds pretty boss.
It does.
If Taken was made in the 80s, we obviously know that in Taken it stars Liam Neeson, but if Taken came out in the 70s or 80s, it definitely would have been Charles Bronson.
Oh, easily. And it would have been it would have been produced by the Cannon Group, and it would have been just balls to the wall insanity. When you look at what Cannon Films did with Death Wish 3 and 4, Death Wish 3 ends with Bronson going through the alleys of New York City with a 30 caliber machine gun, just mowing down waves of street thugs. And then Death Wish 4 ends with him rocking an M16 with a grenade launcher, it locked in a machine gun duel with bad guys in the middle of an arcade at an ice skating rink.
Yeah.
In that movie, he kills Danny Trejo with a champagne bottle that's laced with C4.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even joking. It literally is Danny Trejo before he got famous.
I figured at that point he would have already been famous. He took a freaking C4 bottle to the head. And also, if Taken was made in the 80s with Charles Bronson, it would have been rated R.
Oh, it would absolutely have been rated R. And it would have been awesome because of that.
Yeah, because wasn't Taken rated PG-13?
It was one of those movies, and this is the same with the second and third movies. It was shot for an R rating, and then they cut around the R-rated stuff to give it a PG-13 rating, which is why when you watch the theatrical cut of either of those movies, when it like it's always just it's why the action is so choppy. I mean, the action's choppy no matter which version of it you're watching, but it's twice as bad in the theatrical cuts for all three Taken movies because they are cutting out the bloody parts to get a PG-13 rating, which I think is fucking retarded. Like, if you're going to shoot an R-rated movie, release an R-rated movie.
They make decent banks, same as PG-13 movies.
Yeah. Contrary to what a lot of suits in Hollywood think, R-rated movies can sell. We just ask for them to not suck.
And, not be a fucking pansy when it comes to the blood and gore.
We say while being John Wick fans.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love John Wick. I will always love John Wick. I am not a fan of the CG blood at all. I think it cheapens the impact. I think it cheapens the effect.
Yeah, I think they used a fuck ton of CG blood in the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil films.
They, once you get into post-extinction, starting from Afterlife onwards to Final Chapter, and they even did it in Welcome to Raccoon City too, which I was not a fan of. They just started using CG blood, and it doesn't. And look, I don't care how much money how much budget you have for your effects. I don't care how it's quote unquote more economical to use CGI blood. CGI blood will always be inferior to practical blood in terms of visual effects and in terms of selling the impact of your violence.
Yeah.
Which is why if this story that you guys see on the screen here, the Springfield Snatching, was a movie that I would be directing, it would 100% go for all practical blood effects. But funny story about this book. It was originally supposed to be a screenplay because once upon a time I wanted to be a screenwriter, but upon doing a lot of research into the screenwriting process, I found that the screenwriting process the screenplay format is way too clunky. It's way too. It's very you're supposed to treat it like a blueprint, which I don't believe in. I believe in it's like I don't like that format. I need prose. I need to be able to visualize it. And if I'm reading what sounds like a blueprint, I get bored. I want to read it and fucking feel it on the page. I don't know how people can read the typical screenplay format and not and come away with feeling anything but just like you wasted several hours of your life reading it. But that's just how I am. That's just the way my brain is wired.
Right.
So yeah, and I'll probably make a dedicated promo for this book for next week. But this is about the story is about a Springfield, Illinois police sergeant named Adam Riley, whose wife is runs an advocacy group for victims of human trafficking. And in the prologue chapter, she proposes the formation of an anti-human trafficking task force in the police department to various members of city council. Well, apparently word gets around to somebody who would stand to lose to a Chicago-based organization that stands to lose a lot of money if they're successful in getting this task force off the ground. So they specifically target and kidnap Adam Riley's daughter. One, to send a message. Don't fuck with us. Two, they're going to make bank off of her. And so, sitting on his hands and waiting for his colleagues in the police force to do their job is not going to cut it. So Riley turns in his badge and basically engages in Bronson mode.
Vigilante justice. Again.
With the assistance of his father, a Vietnam War veteran, and his 17-year-old son.
Family business.
Yeah. Just without the obnoxious Vin Diesel memes.
I mean, I like some of those. No, I'm just kidding.
I enjoy those movies too, but that series is a literal fucking meme at this point.
Yeah, I kind of lost interest and respect when I saw the meme where it's like Kong's family, and then it shows Vin Diesel driving in the air towards Mechagodzilla holding a shotgun. And it's like, okay, we're done. It was funny, but now it's not.
Honestly, the series should have ended after Furious 7. The way that the send off they gave Paul Walker, that should have been a send off for the whole franchise. But money talks and bullshit walks in Hollywood, so
at least Vin Diesel's not as bad as The Rock.
I mean, they both have inflated egos. It's just... although Vin Diesel did not turn a $200 million superhero movie into a vanity project and end up ultimately tanking an entire franchise to the point that James Gunn had to come in and slap the reset button.
I was actually kind of hoping that they actually bring Henry Cavill back and continue that universe and bring back Ben Affleck at some point, but nope. I'm fucking hot rock.
I'm over it.
Thanks a lot, Rock.
We got a solid trilogy out of Zack Snyder, and I'm okay with that.
Are you talking about Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, the Snyder Cut?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yes, we got a very solid trilogy out of Zack Snyder, and if that's how it remains, that's how it remains, and I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Now we just have to wait and see. Now we just have to wait and see what this next Batman is.
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'm seeing the new Superman on Sunday, so I'm hoping it's good. Some people seem to really like it. Some people seem to really hate it, and some people seem to really be unwilling to let go of the fact that the Snyderverse is over.
And then we got people like Dean Cain trying to say, "Oh, calling Superman an immigrant is going to tank the box office," and it's like, Superman is an immigrant, you fuck. He's literally an alien.
In my opinion, people shouldn't be trying to politicize Superman. He's an alien from a far-off galaxy who wears red and blue tights and flies around rescuing kittens from trees and punching otherworldly entities. It's not a political statement. Stop trying to make him a political statement. Fuck off.
Yeah. Then again, the guy in question played Superman in the 90s show Lois and Clark, and he's trying desperately to remain relevant, and it's like, your relevancy died like 20 plus years ago. Fuck off.
He would be relevant if he would start picking better movies to star in. And
just let go that he's not Superman anymore.
And not shit like Andy the Talking Hedgehog, which I'll have to feature that on Bottom of the Bin at some point, because fuck me, that movie is awful.
Let me guess, is that a Sonic ripoff?
No! I wish it was a Sonic ripoff, at least then it would be entertainingly bad. But that's not going to be next month's episode of Bottom of the Bin. Next month's episode of Bottom of the Bin is Murder Hornets, which is from the same dildo who gave us 5G Zombies.
Sorry, it's called what?
It's called Angry Asian Murder Hornets.
Yeah, that tells y'all you know.
And it came out less than a month after 5G Zombies released.
I saw 5G Zombies. I want to say I saw it on Tubi.
That's how I watched it.
I watched it back during the pandemic. Back when I first discovered Tubi, matter of fact. Actually, no, I discovered Tubi in late 2019, but didn't really start frequently using it until like mid 2020. That's how I watched it, and it's like, the fuck?
I mean, you can find some really good movies on Tubi, and then you can find a lot of, like, what the fuck am I even watching?
There's a lot of Asylum films on there.
Yep.
And it's like, those hold a lot of those movies hold nostalgia. Because a lot of those movies I watch on there, I saw on the Sci-Fi Channel as a kid.
Yeah, there's an insane amount of Asylum movies on Tubi. There's also a lot of cartoons that you can't find on DVD, or if you can, they're for like insane prices.
Like there's this one series of films. They're called I don't know exactly what the series was called, but they're not Asylum. But there were these two movies called Area 51. I don't know if it's simply titled 51 or Area 51, but there's that. And also Scream of the Banshee, which were two horror films I saw on the Sci-Fi Channel. Area 51 is about Area 51 giving in the government giving in the pressure and allowing area visitors inside Area 51 for the first time. And guess what happens when they're inside? An alien breaks loose. Talk about timing.
Yeah.
Or how else are they gonna have a movie? And there's Scream of the Banshee, where there was a mythical banshee, got her head cut off, sealed in the box, and then hundreds of years later, a freaking professor discovers it in the wall, opens the box, it screams, and they're all cursed, and they start dying one by one. Pretty sure at one point there was a security guard who hears a scream, and his hearing aid falls out and fucking explodes. And it's like, damn. But enough rambling on about my childhood trauma. Let's move on.
Yeah. So if you're interested in pulpy action thrillers that harken back to 70s and 80s men's lit, like The Executioner or The Death Merchant, or movies like Dirty Harry or the Death Wish series or Cobra, new chapters of The Springfield Snatching will be going up on Wattpad every Thursday morning. So, yeah, and there's a link to the page to the Wattpad page in the description box of this stream and every video on the channel moving forward.
So I don't have to ask for it. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, just head on over to the link in the description box. So far, we have a prologue and the first 2 chapters. So, yeah.
Go check it out.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm probably going to make a dedicated announcement video for this next week. But with that out of the way, let's now mosey on over to ChatGPT. Okay. First, would like to use this GPT to to brainstorm ideas for potential film adaptations. Let's see how the AI handles us.
How the AI handles what?
How the AI handles us. Great. I'm ready to help you brainstorm. Are you thinking about adapting your own work, or are you exploring concepts for original films, remakes, or adaptations of other material? Okay. I am interested in exploring concepts for adaptations of other material, particularly video games, Bobby.
Nice.
Video games offer rich, immersive worlds that can translate powerfully to film if adapted well. That is true. Problem is, 85% of the time they aren't. To help tailor ideas, could you let me know genres you're most drawn to, specific games you're interested in adapting, or should I suggest lesser-known titles for cinematic potential? Tone and style preference, budget range. Well, Kaysen, we're beginning with Devil May Cry, are we not?
Yeah.
All right. And chat, don't be shy. If you want to take part in this, you are more than welcome to. If you want to throw some ideas out, you are more than welcome to. Although we are predominantly going to be focusing on Devil May Cry. All right. Let's begin with...
give us ideas for future streams.
Yeah, actually, I have a notepad. I do have a notepad here. So, if you want to throw any out, just tell me. Let's start with Devil May Cry. An urban fan... Alright, hold up. I am aware that there is an animated series adaptation of the
there's
games.
2 animes. There's 2 animes.
Actually, there are... Okay. One being in continuity. And the other playing more fast... Let's say fast and loose with the game's lore. Would you say portraying the demons as impoverished Iraqis being bombed to hell by the evil American military during the War on Terror, would you call that playing fast and loose with game's lore? Because I'm under the impression that the demons are demons, and Dante's father was an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell that came from.
I call it modern Hollywood's bizarre obsession with portraying the evil as misunderstood.
No, they're demons. They're demons. They're not misunderstood. They're just fucking evil. Literally, Dante's father had to seal off the underworld like multiple times, I thought.
Now, would you suggest doing this as an adaptation of the first Devil May Cry game? Or would we want to do it as Devil May Cry 3, which is chronologically the beginning of the series?
Ooh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie.
Now, you've played... We should be transparent about this. Kaysen has played substantially more DMC than I have. I've only played 2 Devil May Cry games to date. The original on PS2 and the 2013 reboot on 360.
Personally, if the movie comes out pre DMC 3, I'm gonna say I'd rather do an adaptation of the first one.
All right, let's just go with the first one, and we have less characters to work with, right? Because we only really have Dante, Trish, and Mundus.
And Sparta. Maybe throw in Eva.
I don't know who Eva is, so you're gonna have to
Dante's
help me.
mother.
Oh,
Dante's mother.
Okay. For like flashback scenes.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Willem Dafoe as Sparta's human form.
I mean, his voice fits pretty much anything.
No, I'm sure if he would have been available as well, Spider-Man.
An urban fantasy.
I was thinking of like a 2002, 2003 DMC1 movie release.
Yeah. This would be a film adaptation of the first Devil May Cry game, an urban fantasy action film in the vein of the Underworld series.
Dude.
Dark, gothic, because that is the general vibe of Devil May Cry, right? It's a very gothic, like, I just remember the castle design from the first game having that very classic, very gothic Renaissance architecture.
Yeah, basically Castlevania with fixed camera angles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure if it counts as fixed camera angles if in some angles the camera follows you. Like in Code Veronica. I'm not sure that counts as fixed camera angles, but, it's basically the same.
It is fixed camera angles. The original Devil May Cry was, well, and probably 2 and 3, I can't say for sure, The original Devil May Cry, it was fixed camera angles. They just didn't have tan controls. It was 3D controls. Because it was, and I'm pretty sure it might have been fixed camera angles just because Devil May Cry was originally supposed to be RE4, and then they changed it to something else.
Yeah, DMC3 was sometimes fixed camera angles, except during combat in most scenarios. In which it basically zoomed in. Basically, for most some of the game, it basically comes across as almost like Arkham behind the back gameplay, as well as like Arkham style camera during combat. But for the most part, it was fixed camera angles. Yeah, that's the best way I can explain the third game. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I played it. But I've been playing the first one to hell and back. Because that's my personal favorite in the series. Well, and it's the easiest game in the series, while 2 and 3 are fucking difficult.
Now, in the first, I'm not totally clear on Dante's age. I don't know if Dante is like a Wolverine type of character where he's been alive for X amount of centuries, or if he's like in his 20s in DMC3 and DMC1, and now in his 40s in DMC5.
Well, what I read is correct. He's in his late teens, early 20s in DMC3. He's at least 28, 29 in DMC1. And he's 40, and he's like 45, 46 in DMC5.
Okay.
So, we're gonna be roughly... I guess we'll just say he's 30.
We'll say late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Dante was originally supposed to be Leon, because this is built around a scrap version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, which is why he's got the curtain dew, just like Leon does.
And he also has the Leon face.
Yeah. Ugh. Although, honestly, Leon never gets to rock a long coat like he does.
Yeah. I guess Resident Evil 4, the original version of Resident Evil 4, was going to have like melee moves, and that did not fit for the series at all. Which it did end up having melee movies anyway. It ended up having melee moves anyway in your final release, Resident Evil 4. But I get the feeling there was going to be like actual hand-to-hand combat in Resident Evil 4, the original concept, and that just they said this is not horror at all.
Yeah.
Just imagine Leon running up and just randomly throwing hands.
Now, for Dante's description, I have Dante, late 20s, early 30s, protagonist, half demon, half human. He is a demon hunter, right? He gets paid to track down and kill demons.
Yeah. Like, they say something in the first game about they have the password. It sounds serious.
Okay. And for personality-wise, you would go with somebody who is... I just remember Dante being a wise ass.
Dark, broody with a sense of humor. Oh, slow down, babe.
Dark brooding with...
That's what he says in the first game when Trish crashes through the front window. Well, actually, no, she crashes through the damn wall.
Okay, so now we have Trish. Should we just go and say 30s, because she does look like she's in her 30s in the first game?
They don't really specify her age anyway.
Appears to be in her 20s. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Or she was created by Mundus. The image of Dante's mother.
So then, if she's created in the image of Dante's mother, shouldn't the actress who plays Trish also play Eva?
I think so. It would make sense.
Do we know Mundus's age? I imagine he's somewhere in the thousands.
I would say hundreds, but yeah, 1,000 sounds more accurate considering he's literally a demon lord of the underworld.
Let's go with age unknown.
Also, at the end of the first game, he says, Dante, I shall return. Still has not returned in any of the sequels. The only time he kind of came back was in the reboot.
Now, is it Sparta or Sparta?
Sparta. With a D. D stands for demon.
Okay. Because I always get those two mixed up, and then I start thinking, wait a minute, this isn't 300 with Gerard Butler.
Now that I think about it, Gerard Butler in the Devil May Cry movie sounds boss.
You know who could probably voice Mundus? Gerard Butler.
Probably.
Or he could
But I was just picturing him in a white wig.
Or he could play Sparta.
Yeah, probably.
Now, what
But I
was...
still...
Now, Sparta was a... I forget what his title was. I just remember that he revolted against the demons.
He was a demon. He was just a demon knight who turned his back on the underworld and protected the human world until his death. Now, whether or not he died of old age or he was killed in action is unknown. They don't particularly elaborate on that. At least not that I've seen or remember.
Okay, are demons immortal in Devil May Cry?
I would assume so. But like I said, I think that I feel like Sparta mostly gave up his demon powers when he fell in love with Eva, and they had 2 sons. Like I said, it's unknown whether he died of old age or if he was killed or if he was assassinated or killed in action. I don't know. It just said that he kept an eye on things on the Earth realm. Earth realm. This isn't Mortal Kombat, but you know what I mean. Until his death.
I mean, they did just drop the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, so...
Yeah, can't react to it because we don't want to take the chance of, Warner Brothers striking us down.
Yeah, which, chat, I don't know if you guys have seen the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. I was very skeptical of, hey, random gamer, welcome to the chat, or welcome to the stream. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're using AI. We're using ChatGPT to see if we can compose a proper pitch for a Devil May Cry film adaptation. That's what we're doing right now.
And I just realized the finale to my Resident Evil 4 playthrough is now live.
Hell yeah!
There's the Krauser boss fight, the Mike deal, and finally the final boss. Yeah, I got those things done in one video without skipping any cutscenes. It's a miracle.
Hey, there you go.
Because You know me. I like to include all cuts. I try to include every single cutscene in my playthrough to give it more of a cinematic experience.
Yeah.
As long as at least most of these games I play are not interactive movies, which you say a lot of Sony games are.
I mean, they pretty much have been since the PS3 era. Agreed, a live-action DMC would be cool, especially in the vein of, like, early, mid-2000s, like, the Underworld movies. Like, the first two Underworld movies. But Devil May Cry.
I also think giving us a little bit of a Castlevania feel as well.
Oh yeah, well I have no doubt that the designers were at least partially inspired by Castlevania when they made Devil May Cry. Just the architecture of the castle that you go into at the beginning easily could be Dracula's castle.
Yeah.
Alright.
I hear Dracula. For some reason I just think of the Rob Zombie song Dragula.
Yeah.
AKA the Black Ops 6 Zombies trailer reveal song.
Yeah. Alright. Now, wasn't Virgil sort of in Devil May Cry 1, but not really?
Yeah, he was the demon knight you fought. He was the demon knight you fought throughout the game.
Did he have a name in that game, or did they just...
He went by something Angelo, but that was Dante's brother Nero. You briefly see his face at some point in the game, I thought. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But
DMC
it's revealed at the end of Devil May Cry 3 that I think Virgil tried to fight Mundus, but instead was captured and brainwashed briefly.
Nello Angelo.
I thought I go by Nilo, but I really don't know how to hold that.
Nilo Angelo.
Nello. Tomato.
Demon Knight under Mundus's control, implied to be Dante's brother Virgil. Okay, do we have a full cast but for this case? Because it's been a long time since I played Devil May Cry 1, so you would probably have a better memory than me. Dante, Trish, Mundus, Sparta, Eva, and Nilo.
Yeah, I feel like Nilo also play Virgil in a potential prequel, or if they decide to just go forward, play Nero. Because Nilo Devil May Cry 1, we don't see Nero in Devil May Cry 2, even Devil May Cry 3, but that's a prequel. And Devil May Cry 4, we see Virgil as a playable character, but I'm not sure if he's a part of the actual story originally. So basically, we don't really see Virgil in an actual capacity again until Devil May Cry 5.
And we're obviously not counting the reboot.
Yeah, where he was just the tyrannical dick.
Yeah. Okay.
Seemed like you wanted to say. Sorry, what?
I was just. Go ahead and finish.
Like I said, it was just a tyrannical dick, and he seemed like he wanted to help, but at the end he showed his true colors, and you remember he had to fight him?
Yeah.
And did you by chance play the Virgil's Downfall DLC?
I did not. I just played the main game.
Yeah. I think you can get it for. I think you can get the definitive edition for $20 on the PlayStation Store. And it includes Virgil's Downfall.
Well, there you go. All right, so
I have it for both Xbox and PlayStation, but you know me, I'm primarily PlayStation now. But moving on.
Yeah.
I feel like the same actor who played Nilo Angelo could also play Virgil in a potential sequel.
Possibly.
Unless it's going to be like, one of those situations where, unless it's like a Lou Ferrigno situation,
Possibly.
Because isn't in that series doesn't Lou Ferrigno play the Hulk and the Banner is a completely different actor?
He voices Hulk in, I think, every live action project that has come out, that Marvel has put out since the TV show.
I remember when I was a kid seeing reruns of that show on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I think he does play. He voices the Hulk in the 2003 movie. Not only that, but he also has an on-screen cameo with Stan Lee.
Yeah. Isn't Lou Ferrigno like deaf or something?
I don't know.
I thought I read or heard deaf.
I couldn't tell you, but I know he voices Hulk in the MCU.
Puny God.
Yeah, so
that was the best scene. That was the one good scene in the Avengers.
Yeah, that was.
That I think we all collectively laughed our heads off at that scene.
There's a clip from that. There's a bit of there. Somebody took that clip from the first Avengers movie and put Ed and Eddie sound effects over it and made Loki sound like Rolf and made Hulk sound like Ed.
Boss. Wait, I meant to say base, not boss.
I mean, either one works. There's actually, like, after Hulk just leaves him on the floor and walks away, there was a massive missed opportunity for them to put in, where it's that shot of Loki, they should have put in, "Never again will Rolf leave house keys in his trouser pockets."
Are you talking about the one that wears a hat?
No, that's Kevin. Rolf is the guy. Rolf is the weird foreign guy.
Oh, it's been a long time since I watched Ed and Eddie.
The one who constantly describes himself as the son of a shepherd.
Oh, the blue-haired one.
Yeah. But moving on.
For some reason, first, I was about to say, real quick, I was thinking, for some reason when you were talking like that, I was thinking about the one in the orange shirt and the black hat, but moving...
No, that's Kevin. But moving on. So I put in, this would be a film adaptation of the first Devil May Cry game, an urban fantasy action film in the vein of the Underworld series, dark, gothic, and highly stylized. Let's look at how this could translate to film, potential directors for the project, and potential actors for the main roles. Dante, Trish, Mundus, Sparta, Eva, and Angelo. Okay, let's see what the...
I do have one actress in mind for Eva, for sure. Kate Blanchett.
How old was Eva when she... Because wasn't Eva killed?
Yeah, she had to have been at least in her 30s or so.
So, 20 years ago probably would have worked, but Kate Blanchett's in her 60s now.
What?
20 years that would have worked just fine, but Kate Blanchett's in her 60s now.
I thought we were going back then, but okay. Let me think.
Well, I'm having it set where it's through the prism of now, current year.
Okay.
Do you have any actors in mind, Random Gamer? I would love to... I don't know about Dante. I would love to see, like... You need somebody with a really striking voice to play Mundus, like Keith David or Gerard Butler.
Dude, Keith David, that's my pick for Mundus.
Or Willem Dafoe.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Dante. I will return.
You know, it's actually that actually makes it very ironic that I chose the image for the stream being a goofy Photoshop of the the Death Note wallpaper, considering Willem Dafoe is in the Netflix Death Note movie.
Yeah, he was Ryuk.
Yes, and he was great.
Yeah, I actually personally didn't mind that adaptation. But then again, it just had me longing for my own Death Note.
I thought it was okay, but I'm not as familiar with the lore. Sorry, I haven't played all the games. I just don't have the full knowledge. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, bro.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the AI can suggest for us.
Okay.
It's just taking its time. Fantastic project. Devil May Cry has all the makings of a visually arresting and emotionally charged action fantasy film. Here's a breakdown of how this could translate to film along with director and casting suggestions. Film adaptation concept, Devil May Cry. Genre, urban fantasy, supernatural action, just like I said. Tone, gothic brooding, high stylization, a la Underworld, Constantine, or Blade 2. Target rating R for stylized violence, horror themes, and mature content. Well, obviously. Did you mute yourself?
No, I'm just, making sure I can speak.
Okay. Alright. Underworld, Constantine, or Blade 2. Not bad movies to emulate if you're going for DMC. Yeah. Top director picks: Guillermo del Toro, Blade 2, Hellboy, Crimson Peak. Strengths.
Yeah, wait.
Do what?
Wait. Is that one of the director suggestions?
Yes. I'm reading off the top director picks.
Dude, I can get behind Guillermo del Toro and directing a Devil May Cry movie. Wait, has he directed anything rated R?
Blade 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. I figured it was Guillermo del Toro because of the design of those. Because isn't that the one with the vampires with the mouths with the things on the side?
It's been a while since I've seen Blade 2, so my memory's a little fuzzy. But I think they were, if I remember correctly, I think they were kind of evolving in that one.
Right.
I just remember Norman Reedus being a backstabber and getting blown and being completely jibbed.
Right.
Blade 2 had the weird mouth guys. Okay, thank you for that, Random Gamer. So Blade 2 did have the what you were talking about.
What?
Random Gamer just confirmed. Blade 2 did have the guys you were thinking of.
Thanks, Random Gamer.
Strengths: gothic visuals, practical monster work, tragic monsters. I mean, if you're looking for if you're talking about tragic monsters being Dante, Trish, and Sparta.
Yeah.
Would lean into Sparta's legacy, Trish's identity, and Mundus's demonic architecture. That I 100% believe.
Right. And keep in mind, if we're playing Devil May Cry, we kill the demons. We don't feel bad for killing them.
No.
And it has nothing to do with them being virtual.
Yeah, unlike the Netflix series, which tried to paint them as being misunderstood refugees just trying to live their lives, because for whatever reason modern Hollywood has this weird fetish for identifying with literal fucking evil.
So in other words, the Netflix anime is trash.
Which is why we have all these live action Disney movies of oh, they're not really villains, They're just misunderstood because Wicked started that trend, and then Disney had to hop on the bullet train and just crank the retard factor up to fucking 11.
Okay, so, like I just said a minute ago, Devil May Cry anime on Netflix is trash. Yeah, I was unimpressed. I was honestly unimpressed by it. Then again, I watched it illegally.
I thought Uwe Boll was the bottom of the barrel when it comes to video game adaptations, but yeah, it's true. I miss the days where villains were villains. They were nuanced. They were bad guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I do too. I genuinely do miss the days where most villains were we knew our heroes from our villains. Even when they were portrayed with some semblance of nuance, we knew who the good guys and the bad guys were. Even when they were portrayed with nuance, we still knew who our good guys were and who our bad guys were. Hollywood doesn't know how to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, mainstream writers don't know how to do that anymore. See also The Last of Us 2, where Neil Druckmann spends the first half of the game sending you on a revenge mission, just to turn around and spend the second half of the game trying to gaslight you into thinking you're a bad person for wanting revenge for the last 10 fucking hours.
Yeah, hence why I will not be playing Last of Us 2 on the... I might play the first one.
And I'm currently playing through the second half of the game.
Yeah, but it's worth keeping in mind that for going forward, at least until February, my playthroughs are going to be mostly just Resident.
Yeah. Yeah, no random gamer. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
That's okay. I was just going to say I'm doing it to celebrate the announcement of Requiem.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. But random gamer, I am currently. I just started the second half of the game, so I'm very early into the Abby chapters.
I do have a question though. If I do get around to playing it, should I download the 2014 PS4 remaster or the 2022 remake? Should I just play the PS4 version? I play the PS5 version, which is they look the same to me anyway.
I would just do the PS4 version. The ending is so bad without spoiling it. That's all I say. Well, I've seen the ending, so it's not really a spoiler. Random gamer. Don't you just fucking love when writers put it to where you're watching your character just mow through an army of bad guys when they're just killing shitbags indiscriminately. But then they get to the one person that they've been trying to kill this whole fucking story, and then they suddenly just 180 and be like, if I kill them, I'll be just as bad as they are.
You're not committing mass genocide.
What fucking stopped you from killing the rest of the people you killed leading up to this fucking point?
Literally.
People... Oh my fucking...
I think you know well how the first game ended.
Straight up, writers who do that kind of bullshit should be permanently blacklisted.
Hey, fucking... You know, when Chris picks up the mic and puts it to his face, you know it's about to get serious.
Yeah. That would be like John McClane suddenly deciding that he can't kill Hans Gruber at the end of Die Hard. It's like, you already killed like 10 other terrorists, dude. What would fucking be stopping you from shooting the man who has a literal gun to your wife's head?
And then Hans, remind me, wasn't Hans played by like Alan Rickman or something?
Yes. In his first film role ever.
had to close my door. I was getting a little loud. But yeah, I was about to say, in Die Hard, didn't Alan Rickman go out a freaking window?
Yeah, he got shot out. He got shot out of a window. Killed 400 people leading. Killed 400 people leading up to the climax, and then let the one person you hate go. It's not crazy. It's bullshit, is what it is. It's absolutely 100% retarded, is what it is.
Yeah, you do that. You're literally taking a massive dump on the story.
Just hellbent. I call it the Ryan Johnson effect. Subversion, just for the sake of subverting and saying fuck you to the audience.
Basically.
The Ryan Johnson, Taika Waititi, Gareth Edwards. Fucking, I will never get over Godzilla 2014. I will never get over how much that movie pissed me off.
What movie?
Godzilla 2014.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, let's get back to it.
Yep.
Okay, the second director the AI suggests is Chad Stahelski, the director of John Wick.
Dude.
Strengths, clean, stylish action choreography, guns and swords, ballets. Could modernize the action while retaining a mythic edge. Chad Stahelski doing Devil May Cry would fucking slap. I mean, he is
opening day.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, opening day, I'll be there.
He is currently working on a Highlander reboot with Henry Cavill.
That should be out within the next year or two, hopefully.
Yeah, and supposedly he's working on a film adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima.
About fucking time. That's literally one of my favorite games on PS4 and PS5. Something I strongly suggest you try playing.
Well, one of these days I'll get around to it. The third director, it's either Karen or Karen Kusama, the director of The Invitation and Jennifer's Body.
I mean, Jennifer's Body will give them an edge because, wait, is it a female director? It was a female director. Might be Karen.
I think so.
But she definitely gets the edge in terms of demonic shit because, well, Jennifer's Body is literally about demons and shit.
Alright. Strengths, atmospheric tension, emotional depth, and horror. Could bring a real pathos to Dante and Trish while maintaining dread.
Right.
Fourth suggested director, Fede Alvarez.
Oh. Yeah, director of the Evil Dead reboot.
And Alien Romulus.
Technically, that wasn't a reboot. That was what you call a... Well, supposedly the 13 Evil Dead is set in the same universe as the original Evil Dead films. And they make up the explanation that apparently the Necronomicon can make events repeat themselves with different...
Yeah, because there was originally going to be a sequel. There was going to be a sequel to Army of Darkness, and then a sequel to the 2013 movie, and then they were going to cross over, but that never wound up happening, and we just ended up getting Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we were supposed to be getting Ash vs. Evil, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, would ended up alive in comic book form anyway.
Yeah.
Because literally, basically how it went was, Bruce Campbell got the call saying, do you want to fight Freddy and Jason? And it's like, yeah, it's about time. About time they fucking basically said, yeah, it's about time Ash gets to kill Freddy and Jason. Hello? Hello? And that was the end of it. Apparently, the guy at New Line, Bob Shea, didn't want Freddy to die 2 movies in a row, and it's like, fuck that, Bob.
Doesn't he die at the end of, like, every Nightmare on Elm Street movie, though?
He's defeated at least.
He's like William Afton. He always comes back.
Right.
Like Matthew Lillard said in the FNAF movie, I always come back.
Dying is such a bitch.
Did you see that Skeet Ulrich is going to be in FNAF 2?
Dude. I bet he was happy to reunite with Lillard.
Yeah, and funny enough, his character's supposed to be one of the co-founders of Freddy Fazbear's.
Checks out. They did commit murders 30 years ago, after all.
That is true. Was that actually good? I haven't seen it yet. Well, okay, Random Gamer. Here's my take on the FNAF movie. I only played a few minutes of the first game. I'm not very well read into the FNAF lore. I'm sure it's very close to the lore, since Scott Cawthon is one of the producers on the movie, and he's producing the sequel. It was a really frustrating movie to watch for me, because it's very tonally inconsistent. It's extremely, like, there are parts where it almost wants to be like Stephen King-ish, or it almost wants to feel like Stranger Things, at least the vibes I got from it, which I only ever watched the first episode of Stranger Things. Then getting into then going horror and certain parts. It was a tonally inconsistent movie to sit through if you're not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I mean, Josh Hutcherson was fine in it. He was one of the few things I could really latch on to, and Matthew Lillard was woefully underused in the entire movie. I'm hoping he has more screen time in the second film, because, my God, did they just... Let me put it this way. Matthew Lillard is in so little of the first movie, I'm almost convinced all of his scenes were shot within a single day.
Probably.
It would not surprise me.
Also, real quick earlier, when I said, but dying is such a bitch, you know what I was quoting, right? I was quoting Chucky.
Okay.
Earlier when I said that, I was quoting Chucky. Like the joke when we were talking about, villains that die over and over again, but back somehow.
Right. Now, see, of course, I didn't catch that because I'm not a Chucky fan.
Chucky, and that's cool. I'm not Chucky, and that's okay.
Yeah. But, I may still give it a chance, but I'm not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like you, I think I probably played about 20 minutes of the first game. Yeah. Honestly,
yeah.
The early entries in the series, I just don't have much interest in playing. Although, I might play Security Breach at some point. Or, they did release a point-and-click Five Nights at Freddy's game called, I think it's called, like, Into the Ball Pit or something like that. And that's on Steam, and I might play that because I love me some point-and-click games.
Isn't Security Breach the Security Breach, like, one where it's like your standard PC only horror first-person game?
Well, it's not PC only, it is also on console. I have the PS4 version.
Isn't that, where you can, like, move around?
You're cutting out.
Is that the one where you freely explore in first person?
Yes.
Okay. Don't know why I cut out. I was literally right next to the controller.
Your controller sucks, that's why.
Yeah, full disclosure, since the Discord app keeps shitting itself, I'm currently on Discord on PS5. Because, well, the app wants to keep shitting itself. and a screen share hasn't been working as of late.
I wish screen share would work on PS5.
Maybe, I mean, Discord on PS5 is still fairly new, so they might do it in a future update. And make it to where you can actually enter the app.
Oh, really?
Instead of just being like...
Oh, apparently Random Gamer does the same thing with Discord.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
But getting
it
back...
actually works really well on PS5. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty surprised how well it works on PS5. Well, apart from the no screen share on PS5, but hey, like I said, the PS5 app is still the app on consoles is still fairly new, so they might do it in the future update eventually.
He says it wigs out on his PC all the time, but for some reason it works better on PS5. Maybe that's what Discord is prioritizing right now is, I don't know. Either that or your PC's old. I don't know how old your PC is. Mine is about 4 years. I bought it 4 years ago, so...
Yeah, as soon as I get a PS5, I'm going to be going live frequently and, being actually able to screen share with Chris because, well, for one, screen sharing with PlayStation friends requires a PS Plus subscription. But then again, even if we did, it doesn't work on PS4 apparently.
Yeah, you said when you get a PS5. I think you meant when you get a PC.
No, well, what I meant was I was looking at the screen share options, and even if you were to get PS Plus, which I already know how you feel about those kinds of gaming subscriptions, but if we would have tried it, it wouldn't have worked because I'm on PS5 and you're on PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do plan on getting a PC and screen sharing going live, but Chris is going to guide me towards the best options for OBS and shit, though I'm probably going to look into an OBS that will hopefully make my stream 60 frames per second.
I think 60 is the default setting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 60 is it, because I haven't monkeyed around with any FPS settings in my OBS, and it's just 60 at default. Although, I'm playing The Last of Us 2 right now, which is 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Because it's
more
cinematic.
Yeah. But then again, when it comes to streams on my channel, I might not exclusively do gaming content. Maybe occasionally Chris will join me on a stream, and we'll just react to shit. Like probably bringing more abridged series.
Yours is an old Dell G7 custom. Well, mine is a Phoenix Bravo 15 laptop that I bought from Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking into getting not only a proper desktop sometime in the future, but I'm also looking into getting an Asus ROG Ally. Oh, yours is also a laptop? Oh, well. But I'm also looking into getting an Asus ROG Ally, which is basically a mini PC, but it's a PC the size of a Switch, so it's like the Steam Deck, but slightly more powerful.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Yeah, did you catch what I said about potential plans for what we could also do when I finally get to go live properly?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Alright, so under Fede Alvarez it says his strengths are harsh, visual, or visceral horror action hybrid, ideal for a darker, more violent interpretation with demonic grit. The way he handled Alien Romulus, either him or Guillermo del Toro would knock DMC out of the fucking park. Although I would want to lean more towards Alvarez. Alright, now for casting ideas.
Here we go.
Dante. Dark, brooding, but sardonic, skilled with sword and guns, emotionally scarred. 4 actors. Kason, are you ready?
Yep.
First actor's name is Jamie Campbell Bower.
As Dante?
Yes.
I can see that.
I do not know who Jamie Campbell Bower is. I've not seen Shadow and Bone, and I've only seen one episode of Stranger Things.
The Jamie Campbell Bower?
Yeah, so I don't know who he is.
He was in Sweeney Todd.
I have not seen Sweeney Todd.
Damn it, Chris, what have you seen? I'm kidding.
Well, you and I don't watch a whole lot of the same... You watch a lot of stuff that I just would never consider watching. Plays the big...
Well, he was also in the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
It's been several years since I watched Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Well, I'm looking at to see who he was in it.
Plays the big bad in Stranger Things. That doesn't tell... Like I said, I only watched the first episode.
He plays Gellert Grindelwald. He plays Gellert Grindelwald in Deathly Hallows Part 1. That's about all I know.
Okay. The second name it gives us for Dante is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he were playing Dante if he were playing DMC5 Dante, maybe, because I have seen Aaron Taylor Johnson because his character in Bullet Train could easily be. Or it's just that cocky arrogance from his character in Bullet Train. And yes, he is in Kick-Ass, Random Gamer. He is Kick-Ass.
He was also, unfortunately, in Godzilla 2014.
He was also Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah, and he died near the end.
You didn't see that coming.
I thought you were Quicksilver, dipshit.
If Aaron Taylor Johnson were playing like DMC5 Dante, I could get behind it.
Honestly, same, because I feel like as long as it doesn't cut away from the action every time it gets started, I think I can get behind it.
I mean, I don't see Fede Alvarez or Guillermo del Toro pulling that bullshit.
Yeah, unlike Gareth Edwards, they're not going to stroke themselves because they think they're so clever.
Okay, the third actor the AI gives me is Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, I do kind of have him fan cast as Pinocchio in a Lies of P movie.
I've never played Lies of P, so
It's a Souls-like where you play as Pinocchio.
Really?
Yeah. Become a real boy, have to fight demons to pay the price.
Okay, I knew it was a Souls-like. I wasn't aware that was the narrative hook. Damn.
Yeah, it's Pinocchio.
Not
At least
Timmy.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Random Gamer's not vibing with Timmy.
Yeah.
I can't really say that I blame you, because I've never watched Dune. I've never watched anything. To my knowledge, I've never seen anything Timothy Chalamet's in. He seems like one of those guys that Hollywood is just really trying to push hard as the next it guy, where they're putting him in a bunch of shit, and it's just like, it just makes you so tired of seeing him.
Right.
I remember a bunch of people on Twitter thinking that it was either going to be him or Tom Holland that was going to be cast as Link in the Zelda movie. That's not happening, thank God. But and thankfully we were spared from the indignity of cast and everything like Pedro Pascal. Yeah, Pedro Pascal being in literally every fucking thing on the planet. Which, by the way, Pedro Pascal should not have played Joel in HBO's The Last of Us. It should have been Jon Bernthal. Not because of The Walking Dead, but just because I see him. I have an easier time seeing Jon Bernthal as Joel than I could ever see Pedro Pascal.
I mean, fair.
Sorry for anyone watching the stream, my dog decided to invade. And it's like, no, come on, dude. But yeah, or everybody on Twitter thinking that Zendaya was going to be cast as Zelda. Nope. Thank God. It was not Zelda, and it's not, and it's even better, Zelda's not being played by a dude, so
it's Zendaya, but yeah.
It's pronounced, I don't give a fuck. Because she sucks.
Basically.
Because her acting sucks. She's never impressed. I only know her.
Of course her acting sucks. She's a Disney Channel actor.
So many people on Twitter and Facebook thought Zelda was a dude. Yeah, literally living but I thought Zelda. What do you mean Zelda's not the main guy in real life? Or there's a bunch of retards on Twitter who think Zelda is trans because she disguised herself as a Sheikah boy in Ocarina of Time. So I guess by that line of logic, Kurt Russell is actually trans because he cross-dressed for one scene in Tango and Cash.
Who?
I said so I guess by that line of logic, Kurt Russell is secretly trans because of one scene in Tango and Cash where he dressed like a chick. Great movie reference. Thank you! Great movie reference. Yes, I should review that on the channel at some point. I should do like I definitely should do that because that's a banger of a fucking 80s classic movie.
Right.
That kind of went largely under the radar because it had the misfortune of coming out around the same time as Roadhouse, I think.
Right.
That movie is amazing. just purely for Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone's chemistry off of each other.
Right.
Or I guess by their line of logic, if they're saying Zelda is secretly trans because she disguised herself as a Sheikah boy, I guess by that line of logic, Robin Williams is trans because he spent an entire movie dressing like a chick.
The only thing I remember from that movie is a face full of whipped cream. Or whatever the fuck that was. I don't know.
I think it was cake icing.
Either way, I was not making an innuendo.
Or I guess Sean and Marlon Wayans are actually trans because they spent an entire movie disguising themselves as chicks.
White chicks, no less.
Yes. No, I think that was the second movie I ever saw Terry Crews in. The first one was The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler remake.
Yeah, it wasn't until like a year ago when I realized that was a remake.
I actually just bought the original at a yard on VHS at a yard sale.
Really?
Yeah, I need to get a VCR, but I've started.
Yeah, good luck finding one.
Yeah, I just recently started buying videotapes again for some reason.
Right. Oh my lord.
I don't even have a VCR.
I watched VCR. I watched VHS up until at least 2011.
I made the full conversion from VHS in like 2011, 2012ish, and for some reason I guess I'm hitting a midlife crisis in my 30s, and I just want to go back.
I miss the old days of VHS because I used to get a lot of movies from the library that way.
I miss video rental stores.
Yeah. Speaking of rentals, did you know that for the rental version of Resident Evil 1 on PS1, they took away auto aim and made it hard so they couldn't beat it within the rental period?
Yeah, a lot of game companies had deals with rental stores at that point. Oh, it's crazy. I still have a VCR and I watch Lethal Weapon on it all the time. Hey, Lethal Weapon's a fucking classic.
Amen.
You know what? I don't have a favorite of that whole series. I just love it from start to finish.
Yeah.
Alright, so the fourth actor that the AI suggested for me is Richard Madden. I do not know who Richard Madden is. The one project it shows that he was in was Game of Thrones. I've never watched Game of Thrones because I don't like George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, it keeps. Yeah. George R. R. Martin is the definition of a literary blue ball.
There's a rumor swirling around that he actually has the fifth Game of Thrones book finished, and he's just so terrified of releasing it because supposedly, and I don't know how true this is, the rumor is that the ending, the way his fifth book ends, or his sixth book, whichever number he's up to now, supposedly the rumor is that the way it ends is the way that the Game of Thrones show ends, and because that was so universally panned, he's now scared shitless about the idea of releasing the last book in the series. I don't know how true that is.
Wouldn't that technically, fix things?
I don't know how true that is. I have never read his books. I've never watched the show. I am not a fan of that long-form... I'm not a fan of long-form fantasy books that could be used as doorstops. I prefer... I would rather read like Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian or Solomon Kane.
Right.
If I'm going to read fantasy, but I'm predominantly a Mac Bolan the Executioner reader.
Yeah. How about James Purefoy? How about James Purefoy as an older Dante?
The way he played Solomon Kane, I could see it.
Yeah.
Random Gamer read the first book, then watched the show instead.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much summarizes it.
Yeah, do you think Tolkien would be proud of the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
No. His son openly disliked the Peter Jackson films, and his reason for doing so is that his statement was something along the lines of they took this very rich world and turned it into an action movie.
Seriously?
I've heard Tolkien scholars or Tolkien readers, I guess people who have made Tolkien their pretty much entire existence, have said that the Peter Jackson movies are great movies, but terrible Lord of the Rings movies, like in comparison to the novels.
Well, there's battles in it. What were you expecting?
I love how Peter Jackson took one chapter in The Hobbit and turned it into an entire movie. That still is hilarious to me.
I actually didn't mind the Hobbit films as much.
Because, yeah, the Battle of the Five Armies, it's literally just one chapter in the book. Just one. And Peter Jackson made an entire movie out of it.
People weren't complaining when they made The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is literally a singular chapter in the fucking Dracula novel.
Well, no, nobody was complaining because nobody went to see it because it flopped harder than Liam Payne.
Jesus Christ, Christians. They have a spot for you in hell.
I'll save you a seat.
Oh, fuck off. Anyway.
Alright, for Trish, they got four actresses for Trish. The first off is Anya Taylor-Joy, a.k.a. Furiosa.
I mean, in a flashback where Dante loses his mother, sure.
Well, like I said, she's supposed to be Trish. She was great in Furiosa.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
And she was great in Furiosa.
Yeah, I still have not seen Furiosa, so I'll take your word for it.
She's also the voice of Princess Peach in the Universal Mario movie.
Yeah, I know. I knew that. She was also in a movie. I think she was also in a movie called The Menu.
I have not seen The Menu, but I think she was in Shyamalan's Split. I think she was the main actress in Split.
I think. I haven't seen Split in years.
The Menu is a crazy movie. I haven't seen The Menu, but I've heard good things about it.
All that shit for a fucking cheeseburger.
I do like Ralph Fiennes, though.
Yeah, that's
or Ray Fiennes,
who shall not be named.
Or Ray Fiennes. I always forget if it's Ralph or Ray.
I think it's Ralph.
The second actress on the list is Jodie Comer.
I have no idea who that is.
Jodie Comer. Gained recognition for appearing in the series My Mad Fat Diary and Dr. Foster. I'm assuming those are BBC shows. She has appeared in the action comedy film Free Guy. Okay, now I know who she was. She was Ryan Reynolds' love interest in Free Guy.
I honestly thought you were going to say My Big Fat Diarrhea. And I'm like, what?
That'd be the
Where does this go? Oh, diary. Oh, diary. Okay.
That'd be the Beavis and Butthead version.
Or the James Rolfe version.
The third actress is Jessica DeGao, and it says she was in Dracula and Arrow. I assume Dracula is a TV show, but I know about it. I know of Arrow. I've never watched it.
I don't remember there being a Dracula TV show.
Unless,
maybe Dracula Untold. I don't know.
If it was Dracula Untold, it would say that. But the last name on the list.
I realize that. I realize that upon saying what I said.
I think she was Ra's al Ghul's daughter. She was Talia in Arrow. Really, random gamer. Jessica DeGao.
I haven't watched Arrow since at least 2020. So
she was Helena Bertinelli, the Huntress in Arrow. Okay, she was in it's Dracula's an NBC show.
A what?
So I guess it's referring to Dracula as an NBC TV series, but she played the Huntress in Arrow. Okay.
Okay then.
I wasn't even aware Talia was in Arrow, but I'm not familiar with.
Yet they couldn't give us a proper Batman in that universe.
Right?
I didn't mind Batwoman, but they did Kevin Conroy dirty with that shit.
I'll take your word for it.
No, Kevin Conroy makes an appearance in the show as an older Bruce Wayne / Batman from another universe.
You know what? Now that you say that, I do remember seeing something about that a while back.
But I just can't help but think, what if... Just imagine if Kevin Conroy played Batman in the 89 film.
Ooh.
He would have been like 34 around that time.
It says, Ra's al Ghul, the Lazarus Pit, almost everything but the Joker and Batman. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And by the time Gotham Knights came into existence, Bruce Wayne was dead.
Alright,
I'm talking about the CW show, not the 2022 video game.
Right. Alright, and so the last name it gives us for Trish is Eiza Gonzalez from Alita and Godzilla X Kong.
I thought she was in Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, because I think she plays the daughter of the rich asshole guy in Godzilla vs. Kong who made Mechagodzilla. And who gets crushed in the ship.
Eiza Gonzalez.
You said Maya Gonzalez, right?
Eiza Gonzalez.
Eiza Gonzalez. Yeah. I think she was in There's so many Gonzalez's out there, I really don't fucking know.
So she was in From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, Baby Driver, Alita Battle Angel, Ambulance, the Michael Bay film. Oh, that's right, she was the paramedic. Film. She is in Godzilla vs. Kong, so... Then again, ChatGPT can make mistakes, so...
It's not a drastic mistake. Blame Warner Brothers for the two similar titles.
Okay, for Mundus. First off, the first one it has labeled creature actor voiced by someone else, but Doug Jones portraying Mundus. At least in costume, in makeup. But voiced by another actor.
And the giant form will probably be CGI.
Probably.
Then again, I thought Mundus was already giant.
Then it also suggests Benedict Cumberbatch.
I can see it.
Maybe if he uses his Khan voice from Star Trek Into Darkness.
I forgot he was... forgot he was Khan.
Yes. The third name on the list is Jason Isaacs. I'm almost familiar with the name, but I'm not. But
I think he was in Resident Evil.
Jason Isaacs. I don't.
Or I'm thinking of Dr. Isaacs. Never mind.
Yeah, that character was played by Ian Glenn. Jason Isaacs.
Are we talking about the hentai tyrant? Or, excuse me,
yes.
The hen tyrant?
Yes.
Hen tyrant.
Voice acting roles include Admiral Zhao in the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Grand Inquisitor in Star Wars Rebels, oh, and another Star Trek actor because he played Gabriel Lorca in Star Trek Discovery.
That's gotta be one of those Paramount Plus shows, because I haven't watched it. Yeah, because Paramount Plus is doing with Star Trek what Disney Plus does with Star Wars.
Hmm. But of course he can play a good demon. Of course he can play he can do good playing somebody who's evil because he's British.
Hey man, that's racist. No, I'm just kidding.
If anything, it's more like nationist.
Then again, I'm pretty sure most British people would agree with you.
And then the last name it suggests for Mundus is Keith David.
How about that? Full circle.
How about that? The AI actually thinks like us.
About damn time.
They live. They live!
Well, Linda Hamilton is definitely disappointed in us now.
Okay, for Sparta. 3 names for Sparta. The first is Oscar Isaac. The only thing I remember Oscar Isaac in is Star Wars, and they did him so fucking dirty.
He was also Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse.
That's right. I keep forgetting he was Apocalypse. You know what? He was actually good as Apocalypse. So
right, I agree.
So maybe
possibly the X-Men movies were actually all pretty decent.
The second name it has for Sparta is Keanu Reeves.
Bro.
Which would be twice as hilarious if it wound up being Chad Stahelski directing this.
I get the feeling Chad and Keanu are best buds at this point.
Oh, they've been friends since The Matrix. Because not only was Chad Stahelski one of the stunt coordinators on The Matrix and the sequels, he was Keanu's stunt double.
How about that?
Yeah. So yeah, he and Keanu go back a long, long way.
Epic.
Which, a fun fact about Chad Stahelski, one of his earliest Hollywood gigs, hold up, Random Gamer says, this is a little off subject, but aren't they making a Constantine 2? I've seen rumors about that. I've heard Keanu mention that in some interviews. It's kind of at a point where I will believe it when I see it.
Yeah, because that movie is literally 20 years old, isn't it?
At least. I think it was like 2004, 2005 that one came out. So a sequel.
Yeah, I played the video game for it years ago.
So a sequel for it is long overdue. Especially because it wound up. It was successful. It was a financial success.
I think it was a success both critically and financially.
Yeah, if they're going to do that, they need to bring back Keanu. They also need to bring back Peter Stormare as Lucifer.
Yes, the guy in the movie Clown who warned them about the costume not to put it on, but the guy put it on anyway. As well as the guy who fucked around and found out in the first John Wick.
Peter Stormare. No, he was the brother of this. He was the brother of Vigo, and he appeared in the beginning of the second movie.
Oh, okay.
It was Michael Nyqvist who was Vigo in the first movie, and then I know he doesn't totally fit actual comic book character, but I really like him. Hey, he was great as Constantine. I haven't read any of the comics, but he was he was great in that movie.
I still can't believe it took me years to realize that was a DC movie.
Yeah. But yeah, Peter Stormare was Abraham. He in the second movie. He wasn't Vigo. He was Vigo's brother Abraham. My fucking nephew.
Does Peter Stormare die?
No.
Damn it.
My fucking nephew killed the dog, and they stole a car. A car which currently is among our inventory. We're giving all this up for a car? It is not just a car. It is John Wick's car.
Well, shouldn't have killed his fucking dog.
Why don't we just give it back? He killed my nephew, my brother, and a dozen of my men over his car. And the puppy.
I mean, valid crash out if you ask me.
Very valid. Yeah, you lose your dog. The last gift your wife ever gives you before she died. The last gift your wife gives you after her death, just to be taken away from you. I think mass murder. I think going into New York City and committing mass murder against the Russian mafia is very much warranted.
Yeah. Come on, it's a freaking dog.
Not only was it a dog, it was the most...
It's called man's best friend for a reason.
Not only was it a dog, it was the most adorable beagle they could possibly find.
Which made it worse.
John Wick is a man of focus, commitment, sheer fucking will. He once killed 3 men in a bar with a pencil. I know I've heard the story. With a fucking pencil! Who the fuck can do that?
Alright.
Alright, and the third name for Sparta that it gives is Hiroyuki Sanada, who was in John Wick 4 and was Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat reboot.
Get over here!
I love that his voice was not nowhere near deep enough for Scorpion to do that line as Scorpion, so they literally just had Ed Boon do it.
Solid. It's one of those do what you gotta do, I suppose.
I mean, Ed Boon Ed Boon literally, that is Ed Boon's voice in the original Mortal Kombat when Scorpion does the "Get over here!" And,
classic.
And in the 95 movie too.
Full circle, 30 years.
I think that was his voice in the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, actually.
Can we really be surprised if it is?
It would not shock me. I'm 100% positive it was Ed Boon's voice doing "Get over here!"
Yeah.
Ooh. It has 3 solid picks for Eva. First off,
don't leave us in suspense.
First off, Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh boy.
I could go for that.
Yeah.
Second pick is Rachel Weisz. Also from Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from Stephen Summers' The Mummy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
When he screams when the mummy screams at him and he screams back.
Yes.
That's when my kid screams at me and I scream back to assert my dominance.
You just Brendan Fraser him.
Yep. And she listens.
Except you don't have that sweet lever action shotgun like he does.
Well, I'm not going to threaten my kid, dude. I'm just screaming to get a warning across.
Oh, you've never seen Dennis Leary has a bit about raising kids that he did in the 90s. He goes, "I'm trying to bring my kids up the right way. Not spanking them. I find I don't have to spank them. I find that waving the gun around pretty much gets the same job done." Because they're trying to kill me, they are. You know, I try to explain the rules for them. You know, if rules go in one ear and out the other. Close the door.
I'm pretty sure that counts as child abuse.
How hard can it be to remember close the door? You just open it, close it behind you. I have a dog. I've seen him close the door with his nose. And he's a dog! Apparently
This is the same guy. this is the same guy who jokes about a kid being a hooker's vagina of a credit card.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Hanson bit.
Yeah. I'm only 6 and have credit cards. What the fuck?
But anyways,
Yeah, let's just move on.
now for Nilo Angelo, Virgil. It also has 3 picks for Virgil. First off is funny that we brought up Dracula earlier. Luke Evans.
Yeah, wasn't he Dracula Untold?
Yes, he was.
And isn't that one where it painted Dracula as a hero?
Yes. Yes, because that movie was an attempt to start... That was one of Universal's numerous attempts to start a shared cinematic universe around their movie monsters, and it underperformed, so they tried again years later with The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and that shat the bed. I haven't seen it, but I've heard not nice things about it, and I wonder if it failed because it was a bad movie, or if it failed because it had the misfortune of releasing within the same window as the Wonder Woman movie.
That's what I said. I thought I heard it performed financially well. It's just the critics fucking tore into it like it was a piece of pizza.
Well, I mean, critics... I generally discard what critics have to say about movies anyway, because 90% of the time they're just shitting on it because it's not what they want, and it doesn't fit into their bubble of what they think cinema is.
Right.
But anyway, the second name on the list for Nilo Angelo, the second name is Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's on there explicitly because of Pennywise.
Probably.
It would not shock me.
I gotta step away for 30 seconds.
Okay. Ugh, but anyways. I'm still trying to figure out why there's even a prequel series to the It movies being made. I feel like that's one of those things you should never do with horror movie villains. That's one of those things you should never do is give them some kind of backstory, because it takes away the mystique. It takes away the fear of the unknown. Just like I'm openly not a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies because they try too hard to explain Michael Myers' psychology, and it's like John Carpenter wrote him in a way where it cannot be explained. So you're literally trying to create something from nothing that shouldn't. I don't know.
I'm back.
Okay. So, anyways,
I was trying not to cut you off, which I ironically just did. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I pretty much just got my point out anyway.
All right, where were we?
Alright, so the last name on the list, I'm not familiar with this person. It's Joseph Quinn. And the one thing it gives me to go off of is Stranger Things. I got nothing. Luke, I mean...
All I know is that there's a character in Dexter named Joey Quinn, but that's about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either Luke Evans or Bill Skarsgård. For Nilo Angelo, I would not mind either of the 3 picks it gives for Eva, Rebecca Ferguson, Rachel Weisz, Emily Blunt. Sparta, either Keanu Reeves or Hiroyuki Sanada, I could go with. Especially if you're gonna... It would actually be a nice nod to... Random Gamer says, Joseph Quinn is in the new Fantastic Four. He's also the guy that played Metallica in Stranger Things. You see that floating around? Okay, so... I've not seen that clip, but I've heard Metallica talk about it.
Wait, is he? Wait, isn't Joseph Quinn the?
If he's in the new Fantastic Four, he's playing Johnny Storm.
Oh yeah, Human Torch.
Okay. Played Eddie Munson in Stranger Things. Okay. But he's playing Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four. Okay, well at least now I have some. I've seen the trailers for Fantastic Four. I have no interest in seeing it because I'm kind of bored with Marvel at this point. I probably see Spider-Man Brand New Day if it ends up looking good, just to see a Spider-Man Punisher movie. But since supposedly John Bernthal is going to be in that movie, but I can't stand how Marvel just refuses to give Tom Holland his own Spider-Man movie. How they constantly have to keep pairing him up with other characters from the MCU. It's like, just let Spider-Man be Spider-Man. It worked for Sam Raimi.
Kind of worked for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, it worked for Tobey Maguire. It worked for Andrew Garfield. Just let Tom Holland be fucking Spider-Man.
Plus, wasn't Punisher like 90s animated show?
No, there's no animated Punisher show.
I meant the 90s Spider-Man show.
Okay, you cut off there. You did cut off with that first. Yeah, he was in the 90s cartoon. He was actually introduced into Marvel Comics in a Spider-Man book because he was led to believe that Spider-Man had committed a murder, and so he was hunting Spider-Man down, only to later learn that he was duped by the mob.
And so he goes after the mob?
Yep.
Full circle.
If they were going to pair Spider-Man up with anybody, it should be Daredevil or Deadpool. I didn't really like the Iron Man connection. Neither do I. I'm not a fan of the Iron Man. Spider-Man teaming up with Daredevil or Deadpool would fucking slap. That should be the premise for Deadpool 4. Just Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that the voice, I can't remember which show it was, but the voice of Spider-Man, the show Spectacular Spider-Man, I think was the voice of Jack and Daxter Lost Frontier.
Says there's actually a comic where Deadpool dresses up like Spider-Man and starts doing good deeds. I think I've seen a few panels from that.
I think I had too. That's boss.
Oh, Wade. But yeah, so let's get back to it. I'm all for either Luke Evans or Bill Skarsgård being the knight who may or may not be Virgil. I would probably go for either Rachel Weisz or Emily Blunt for Eva. Sparta, Keanu, or Hiroyuki Sanada, especially if you want to pay homage to Devil May Cry's Japanese origins. Mundus, have Doug Jones portray him physically. Have Keith David do the voice.
Chef's kiss.
You know who also could have probably done Mundus because he had a really powerful voice? Tony Todd.
Who? Oh, dude, yes. Crazy to think it's coming up on a year since we lost him.
Yeah.
It was a really touching send off with Final Destination Bloodlines.
I've seen that clip. It
It made me both sad and happy.
I have seen that clip. I have seen that clip, and it is a bittersweet send-off for him. I still
Like I
don't care.
said,
I still don't care for the series at all, but it was nice of them to give Tony Todd a proper send-off.
like I said, very touching, and not the Diddy kind. Too much.
For Trish, I would lean more towards Asa Gonzalez because I really, really liked her in Alita. But Anya Taylor-Joy is also a solid pick.
Right?
Now for Dante, I'm kind of I'm leaning more towards Aaron Taylor Johnson just because I have a better frame of reference than him than I do with any of the other three actors it suggested. I have a better frame of reference than him than I do with Jamie Campbell Bower or Timothy Chalamet or Richard Madden. Do you?
I'm sorry, what?
I have a better frame. I'm leaning towards Aaron Taylor Johnson for Dante, just because I have a better frame of reference with him than I do with Jamie Campbell Bower or Timothy Chalamet or Richard Madden.
Right.
All right, let's see how else. Let's see what else it gets. Visual and tone inspiration. Underworld for the color grading and stylized violence.
Basically.
Constantine for the urban occult setting. Yeah, that would definitely sell. That would work. The Crow for emotional weight and gothic visuals. Ooh. I mean, taking inspiration from The Crow is just... Which... That remains, to this day, my favorite comic book film of all time. I still have not seen the Skarsgård remake, because I just don't think it's right.
It's crazy how we only got one good Crow movie.
Yeah, it's hard. I find it hilarious that this could be considered a series. I find it hilarious that it's considered a series when there's only one good film in the entire franchise. The Crow is yes, it is, Random Gamer. It's amazing. It's funny enough. It's my favorite comic book film of all time, but it's not my favorite Brandon Lee film of all time. That honor goes to the movie he made before The Crow, Rapid Fire, with him and Powers Booth. Where it was Brandon Lee's first like pure solo action movie, and you could see him working in various elements of his father's style. You could see him working in elements from Jackie Chan movies, but in a way that was purely just exclusive to Brandon Lee, and it really is a shame that he never made it past that he never got to see The Crow, and he never got to keep making movies after The Crow.
Yeah, because of some dumb fuck below the wrong rounds.
Yeah, a very bad, a horrific accident that never should have fucking happened. And funny enough, he was one of the actors who was in the running to play Liu Kang in Paul W.S. Anderson's Mortal Kombat before he died, and they wound up having to get Robin Shou. Brandon Lee playing Liu Kang, a character whose appearance and moveset was based off of Bruce Lee, would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah, and the funny thing, you know what it is, Random Gamer? He didn't want to get pigeonholed into making one type of movie. He wanted to yeah, he wanted to do action, but he wanted to branch out and do other genres. He wanted to do dramas, he wanted to do comedies. He wanted to expand himself as an actor so that he wasn't getting typecast. And you could see that in various scenes of The Crow where he was just owning every scene and acting his ass off in it. Like, that was his... It's not my favorite Brandon Lee film, but it is the ultimate high point of his... It's the peak of his talent as an actor, not just as an action performer.
Right. So, remind me, we're using ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, other visual and tone inspirations it brings up: Devilman Crybaby for emotional devastation and body horror. I've never seen Devilman Crybaby, but I mean, body horror and Devil May Cry go together like Washington and corruption. So, and then the last one.
Sorry,
do what?
I missed that last part. I was texting Lily back.
I said that Devil May Cry and body horror go together like Washington and corruption. So drawing influence from Devilman Crybaby, which is body horror, would definitely work. And then the last thing it gives for like visual and tone inspirations is Castlevania. Funny enough.
Well, again, full circle.
Yeah, because I'm convinced that Capcom took some influence from Castlevania in designing the architecture. All right, adaptation notes. Opening: a cold open with Dante in a monster hunting gig, stylized ultra-violent. That would definitely do it like the opening scene from the first episode of the 2007 anime, where he goes into the bar and orders a strawberry sundae, and then just starts dropping hints that he knows it's a bar full of demons, and then just goes to work.
Yeah, I was reminded of that because I was literally watching the Devil May Cry anime recently to prepare for this video. It's still on Hulu. Oh,
nice. Okay, structure. Act 1. Trish hires Dante, lures him to Mallet Island. Act 2. Dante uncovers Mundus' plan, fights demons, flashbacks to Sparta and Eva. Act 3. Dante versus Nilo Angelo, and final confrontation with Mundus. That sounds like a solid structure. Themes: family, duality, legacy, humanity versus demon instinct. Changes: streamline level-based structure into cinematic escalation and deepen Trish's arc. Yeah, that would have to, because there's not a lot of... I mean, there is character development, there are cutscenes, and there is a story, but it's mainly an excuse to push you along to the next stage.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer that style of game anyway, versus games that where the gameplay is just filler for the next story segment. See also The Last of Us.
Last of Us Part 2. But anyway, moving on.
Both of them. But yeah.
Both of them.
Okay, the AI asks, would you like a full outline of the story structured for a 2-hour film, or should we brainstorm a trilogy approach to allow more room for world building and character arcs? Well, considering that each game is kind of its own self-contained story within the Devil May Cry timeline, I don't think... I would think we should have an outline for a 2-hour film. What do you think?
So you think we shouldn't have an outline for a 2-hour film?
No, I think we should go for the outline approach instead of brainstorming a trilogy, because each Devil May Cry game is set within its own kind of. Each game is kind of its own self-contained. Well, you can answer this better than I can. Isn't every game in Devil May Cry kind of its own self-contained story, and then there's something resembling a timeline that loosely connects them all together?
Basically.
Okay.
I'm glad we're on that same boat.
Okay, so let's go with a full outline.
The words of Little John, let's go!
Yep. Would you say 2 hours would be an appropriate length, or would we want to go for a shorter approach, like 90 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes?
I'd say at least an hour 45.
$105. Your film outline for Devil May Cry. Crafted as a tight, gothic action film in the vein of Underworld, Constantine, and Blade. Structure follows a 3-act format with emotionally resonant character arcs, high-stakes battles, and mythic horror elements. Act 1. I love how it actually has labels for each act in each scene. Almost like a DVD.
Yeah.
Which, my god, am I the only one who misses when DVD menus for, like, each scene had, like, specific names for each scene, and it wasn't just, like, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, like it is on every Blu-ray now? It's so hollow now.
It's literally very low effort.
It's so cheaply done.
Very low effort.
But anyway, for the okay, so we have Act 1, which runs for 25 minutes. Act 2, which runs for 45 minutes, and Act 3, which runs for 35 minutes. According to the outline.
Stuff.
Alright, opening sequence. Cold open, nighttime, Dante in a narrow alleyway finding a possessed priest using ebony and ivory and his sword. You get a taste of his style. Sardonic, brutal, and efficient. Ends with demon exploding into black smoke.
Repeat that, I say.
Says the scene would end with the demon he's fighting exploding into black smoke.
Boss.
Credits roll over flickering surveillance footage of demons, cryptic news reports, and a crumbling church on a remote island. I assume the church. I assume that would be Mallet Island.
Probably. We're adapting the first game, then yeah, it has to be Mallet Island. It has to be Mallet Island.
Okay.
Which, by the way, remember that multi-part RE4 Bridge series we looked at a couple years ago, where apparently it was super unhinged, and apparently Hunnigan would not leave Leon alone?
Yes.
He actually, since then, or at least I've since discovered, he made, I think it was a one-shot Devil May Cry 1 spood. Yeah, he also has a Resident Evil 6 spood, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 spood now. Whether or not he's done a 5 spood, which they made jokes about in the 4 spood, I have not looked. But he's been inactive for like 2 years.
Nice.
But anyways.
Alright, so following the credits roll, which, by the way, Don't you just miss the days when movies had an opening credits roll? Had opening credits over their movies, and they didn't just save all the credits for the ending.
Right?
You know what else I miss? Title cards, like really badass title cards, right at the start. Like you have a big sequence, and then you get the big boom title card.
Right.
Like in Steven Seagal's Out for Justice. Seagal throws a pimp through a windshield, then it's just freeze frame on Seagal, and then boom, title card. Like, so it's like Steven Seagal is out for justice. Boom, and then you're back in the movie.
Yeah, well, fuck Steven Seagal.
Okay, so
I think we talked about in streams before how the incident where he got choked out and he shit his pants.
Yeah.
Wait, who was it who choked him out again?
Gene LaBelle.
Not to mention, didn't you include in one of your videos where it was a lazy fight scene where Steve Seagal was sitting down for most of it?
Yeah, I think it was the video labeled "Somebody help this boy," and he was making death threats against somebody, and I was like, do you have any idea how not intimidating you have to be to make Steven Seagal look threatening? Cue the Space Ice video where it shows Seagal fighting a guy while sitting down.
Lazy.
Hey, Seagal used to actually be a fairly bankable action star, and then his ego just inflated to an astronomical degree, to the point that nobody wanted to work with him.
But hey, at least when it comes to Danny Larson, if Warner Brothers wants to finally make a Batman Beyond movie, they won't have to cast Ratboy.
Bro.
He looks like Ratboy from Batman Beyond.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, watch that episode and you'll know what I mean. It's like, is that Danny Larson?
Oh, okay.
That's what Lily said.
Alright.
Is that Danny Larson? Not to mention, let's not forget Steve Seagal also stole money from a kid in a wheelchair. You heard about that, right?
No, I've not.
Yeah, he literally stole from a kid in a wheelchair. Bullshit. Like, someone get Jamie LaBelle on the phone. 30 years later, you need again, but you need to choke him out and make him shit his pants again.
I literally typed this into Google. It says, it does not appear that there is any widely reported or verifiable information suggesting Steven Seagal stole from a child in a wheelchair. Information on whether Seagal stole from a child in a wheelchair is not available in provided search results.
Well, it was mentioned in a Sunny V2 video. Yeah, Sunny V2 made a video on Steven Seagal.
Well, I don't take everything I see on. So he has gotten facts wrong on occasion, so I don't take everything he says everything he shows in his videos at surface level. I don't think you should either.
Ain't true, but yeah, you have to at least admit, given his ego and shit, kind of, sort of, a little bit believable, at least.
Based on what I've heard about Seagal, his worst sin is being an egomaniac and a sex pest.
Oh. So he's basically Jimmy Page about the guitar. It's no.
Yeah. And unlike...
But yeah, I really shouldn't take that. I really shouldn't take that to fact. But...
anyways.
It's the internet. You never know it's true anymore, you know?
Yeah. So anyways.
But you have a point. I shouldn't believe everything I read on the internet.
Alright.
Let's move.
So, following the credits roll, next scene, back at the Devil May Cry office, rundown, neon lit. Trish arrives, mysterious and ethereal. She knows about Sparta and Dante's past. She claims Mundus, the demon who killed Dante's mother, is returning. She invites him to Mallet Island, where Mundus is amassing power. Dante is skeptical, but intrigued when Trish reveals her uncanny resemblance to Eva. Notice how it doesn't mention anything about Trish launching a motorcycle at Dante's fucking head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I always consider that an important part of the canon.
Unless it's going for more, unless it's going for something more subtle with like classic detective thing of the mysterious woman walking into the detective's office. In this case, it would be like Trish with her face covered, or her approaching in shadow until she steps out into the right light and reveals that she looks exactly like Dante's mother.
That's going to be a weird PG-13. That's going to be a really weird PG-13 sex scene later on.
Hey, this is R-rated, so
I've seen R-rated films with laughably tame sex scenes, so you never know.
50 Shades.
Yes, thankfully not seen that.
I find it hilarious that the books are lauded for featuring such supposedly featuring very graphic depictions of bondage sex, and then you watch the movies and it's so tame that it's almost Lifetime Channel original movie quality. Probably,
and keep in mind, these are R-rated films.
Probably because they were afraid they would get an X rating or an NC-17 rating if they did, if they really did show what they were supposed to.
And NC-17 films and X-rated films aren't exactly eligible for theatrical releases, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it pretty much kills your movie.
Apparently, they had to do a lot of editing around Evil Dead and Scream because they kept getting X ratings.
Yeah, there were a lot of movies in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s that where they had to keep they had to keep changing things up, or they had to keep editing down certain scenes because they kept getting, like Scarface. It had Brian De Palma's remake of Scarface submitted several. They had to re-edit it several times to the MPAA, and it kept coming back as an X rating. And one of them was, well, because there's a scene in a nightclub where a clown gets shot up a bunch of times, and they're like, oh, we're worried that there's too many. The clown gets shot too many times, and it's like. But funny.
Wait, which movie is this?
Scarface, the Brian De Palma remake from 1983.
Wait, we're talking about the one with
Al Pacino.
Who plays Scarface?
Al Pacino. Yeah, Al Pacino.
That's a remake?
Yeah, the original Scarface came out in the 30s and the vice of choice in that film was bootlegging.
Oh yeah, Prohibition era.
Yeah, Prohibition era, Capone era. In fact, it was actually rumored to be Al Capone's favorite film.
I feel like I knew that was a remake already, but I haven't seen Scarface in years, so...
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that the Pacino version is a remake, but it is. It's just that the remake, it's one of those cases where the remake is the more popular movie than the original.
And didn't you play the game on the channel, like Scarface, The World Is Yours?
I was going to, but I just kind of... I kept hitting a bunch of starts and stops and just gave up on it. I'll probably play it again. I'll probably attempt it again at some point.
Yeah, because it had the Passenger by Iggy Pop on the soundtrack.
Yes, it did. In fact, I think that was I think that was the first time I'd heard that song.
Yeah, because it's also featured in the opening sequence of the first episode of Dexter New Blood, which it kind of fits because Dexter's Dark Passenger. And I'm pretty sure I think Iggy Pop has something wrong with his spine.
I don't know.
I'm not familiar with him as much as I am other artists.
I don't know. But,
anyway, moving on.
So, following Trish's entrance, the next scene says Dante rides in a black motorcycle boat hybrid across the foggy sea. Motorcycle boat hybrid. How the fuck does that work?
Jet ski.
Did you say jet ski? Fucking good job, AI.
I'll let it slide this time.
So Dante rides a jet ski across a foggy sea.
Resident Evil 4 style across the sea until he eventually arrives at Mallet Island.
Yeah. Island looms ahead, fortress of crumbling Gothic towers. Flashbacks on the boat. Young Dante, fire, screams. His mother screaming his name. His father's sword clutched in his hands. So a flashback to when Sparta and Eva are killed. But we're not given much to go off of just fire and screaming.
And they don't elaborate in the games. They only say Sparta died. They don't say if Sparta and Eva died at the same time. But then again, since I think that's what happened in the reboot, I think they died at the same time in the reboot. Because apparently, I think that was because when you're running through the house in a reboot, you see flashes of a flashback where Mundus is attacking Eva.
Mm.
And you played the reboot, you know this.
Well, it's also been over a decade since I played the reboot.
Fair. But in the original Devil May Cry, they only say that he protected the underworld until his death. They don't specifically say if he died during the same time as Eva. And almost 25 years later, they still don't elaborate whether that was the case or not. But anyway, for the movie, it works.
Okay. Implying that Sparta died protecting his wife and kids.
But his wife died anyway.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, he dies, they get away, but Eva meets a grisly fate sometime later when they're found.
Alright, next scene. Dante and Trish infiltrate the ruined cathedral. They're attacked by demonic marionettes. Stylish action ensues. Deeper in, they find ancient carvings of Sparta, the demon who betrayed the underworld to save humanity. Trish disappears mysteriously. Dante finds a sealed door, hears his name whispered in a chilling voice. Cue demonic rumble. Mundus knows he's here. I remember the marionette demons. I hated them.
Really? They were a cakewalk for me. Unless you're talking about when there's that hole in the floor and they keep spawning in, then yeah, that was irritating, but
it is.
Feeling that wasn't an issue for me.
It is. It really fucking is. I hate that. Alright. Now we're
the question is, will the marionettes be portrayed by CGI or practical?
I would go with, if I'm Fede Alvarez or Guillermo del Toro, I'd go practical.
He said, what'd you say?
If I'm Fede Alvarez or Guillermo del Toro, I'd go practical.
Practical?
Yeah.
Okay, because you kept cutting out there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes more sense to be practical because you can all puppeteers are still a very popular thing, and it would work out just fine.
Hmm.
And plus, you can probably film with fake blood, and the props can be destroyed.
Oh yeah. Practical blood, of course, because CG blood just looks like shit.
Yeah.
All right. So next scene, Dante traverses puzzle box-like interiors, collapsing bridges, moving walls, and haunted relics. Finds Sparta's journal, revealing regrets over leaving Dante and Virgil vulnerable. Intercut, Trish alone walking corridors. She is ambushed by demon knights, but mysteriously spared.
I sense a twist coming.
Hey, so far this would actually fit within the confines of the story.
Yeah.
How bad is it that AI can do this, but Hollywood writers, well, the current cream of professional nepo babies masquerading as screenwriters can't.
Beats me, bro.
Next scene. First confrontation with Nilo Angelo. Silent, brutal, and eerily familiar. Dante loses. Badly. His sword is shattered. As Nilo disappears, he whispers, "Brother." Dante is left shaken. Flashbacks. Childhood with his twin Virgil. Lost in the fire.
I'm not sure that would fit with Devil May Cry 3, but if this is a self-contained story and they don't plan on making any sequels, then I guess we can let it slide. Because they literally fight in Devil May Cry 3.
Unless... Okay, now were Dante and Virgil separated after their parents were killed? I assume they were.
I assume so too. Because, like I said, the Devil May Cry 3 opens up with Dante basically just starting out with this whole demon hunter business thing. He encounters Virgil at the end. They fight. I guess they could say that Virgil disappeared. They were reunited in Devil May Cry 3 and fought. Then Virgil disappeared.
Or was taken by Mundus.
Taken by Mundus, turned into what was in Devil May Cry 1. But Dante has no idea of this, and he assumes his brother just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making this up as I go.
Yeah.
But isn't that the whole point of this?
Pretty much. Yeah, this is just us fucking around.
Oh, lordy, lord.
Okay. Next scene. So the scene that follows, Trish returns, saves Dante from another demon swarm. During recovery, Dante interrogates her. She admits she was created by Mundus in Eva's image to lure him, but she started to feel human emotions, and she hesitates to betray him. Dante storms off, conflicted.
I mean, he does spare her after, he does spare her even after she betrays him in the game.
That is true. I do remember that.
And he still saves her from crushing debris anyway. Like, he could have easily let her die, but he didn't. And that says a lot about Dante's character, if you ask me.
It does.
I'm still not quite sure if it had anything to do with the fact it looked like his mother. But probably definitely had something to do with the fact it looked like his mother.
It probably. Next scene. Dante, sorry.
Wait, I was about to say real quick, in the games, I'm not entirely sure if Trish was aware that she was creating Dante's mother's image, because Dante admits the reason he saved her was because he looked like my mother. And Trish seemed to have a sharp look on her face. Then again, it was early 2000s animation, so who knows?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, did I say that to where it made sense?
Yeah.
Like, okay, because I felt like I was rambling.
Yeah, no, I'm just processing it.
I need to learn to stop overloading Chris, folks.
Yeah, I feel like as I get older,
right.
I just try to say less.
Right? Because it's like, I really need to learn to know when to shut the fuck up. But anyways.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Yeah, anyways.
Oh God, will you shut the fuck up?
Classic.
I actually just rewatched that recently. My God.
Wait, what movie is it from?
Scary Movie 2.
Oh, right. Yeah. I need to rewatch that. But anyway.
Alright, next scene. Dante reaches the cathedral's undercroft, a giant portal sealed by 3 demonic guardians. Epic battle against a giant Cerberus-like beast. After killing it, the first seal breaks. Flashback montage. Dante remembers Eva hiding him as flames rise, his scream mixing with the present roar.
That's another thing from Devil May Cry 3, but then again, I'm pretty sure in the Devil May Cry series there is multiple 3-headed demons, because there was a similar boss fight in Devil May Cry 5 where Dante literally says, "Hey, in my younger days, I met a sneaky little pooch just like you." So yeah, this could be another species. This could be another member of that same species. But the question is, does he get a weapon when he kills it?
It doesn't say.
It just simply, let's reread that real fast, because like I said, screen shares fucked up.
Dante reaches the cathedral's undercroft, a giant portal sealed by 3 demonic guardians. Epic battle against a giant Cerberus-like beast. After killing it, the first seal breaks. Flashback montage. Dante remembers Eva hiding him as flames rise, his scream mixing with the present roar.
Eliminating the creature's roar as it dies.
I hope that's what they mean.
Or Dante lets out a final war cry, or making the final strike.
Probably.
That honestly makes a bit more sense.
Alright, next scene. As Dante approaches the final seal, I thought there were 3 seals, but only one's broken. As Dante approaches the final seal, the voice of Mundus echoes through the halls. Dante is mocked for his humanity, his father's betrayal, and Trish's duplicity. The portal bursts open. Trish tries to stop Dante from entering. He tells her to stay behind.
Now, is he telling it for her safety, or because he doesn't want her betraying him?
Maybe a combination of both. I would say it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Alright, now that is the end of Act 2. Now we go into Act 3. Dante enters a nightmarish dimension, a black citadel floating in crimson space. Haunted by ghosts of the past, Sparta's voice warns him power must serve purpose. He reforges his broken sword with demonic energy. It becomes Force Edge, glowing with ancestral power.
Valid.
Okay. Well, if you're saying it's valid,
I mean, I'm not going to question it.
that scene. So you would say that's in line with the game.
It sounds like if it's a movie form, sounds like it'd be accurate.
Okay. Because I remember the cutscene of Dante being impaled on a sword and then just forcing himself up and forcing the sword through his body before he picks it up.
Sounds like demonic energy to me.
Alright. Next scene, rematch with Nilo Angelo in a shattered throne room. Brutal fight, both sword and hand-to-hand. During the climax, Dante rips off Nilo's helmet. It's Virgil, warped by Mundus. Dante begs him to remember who he is. Nilo hesitates, then is impaled by shadowy spears, puppeted by Mundus, and he dies in Dante's arms.
Big mistake, Mundus.
So you're really locked in.
He was already planning on killing you, but now he's going to make sure you have the most miserable death ever.
Final battle. Mundus manifests in true form, an angelic demonic titan with wings and molten eyes. Dante goes full power, white hair, glowing red eyes, full-on devil trigger. A sky-shattering battle through air and stone. Trish arrives, gives Dante Eva's pendant. He focuses his power and pierces Mundus's heart with Force Edge. Shouldn't she have given it to him before he stepped into the portal?
Probably.
I would think. That would make sense to me.
Yeah. They about lost me there.
Then again, at the bottom of the page it says ChatGPT can make mistakes, so that includes logical inconsist that includes gaps in logic, which is why I've only been using this as a brainstorming partner and as a proofreader, not to write my story for me.
Well, yeah, if you use that to write your story, it's not genuine.
Yeah, which Random Gamer, since you arrived late, I'm gonna bring it up before we end the stream. But yeah, I've started publishing my book in chapters on Wattpad, and if you want to check it out, the link to it is in the description of this stream.
Very interesting stuff.
All right, so final scene with Mundus gone, the demon world crumbles. Trish helps Dante escape through a collapsing portal. On the island's shore, Dante sits alone. Trish returns, unsure if she belongs. Dante tosses her a gun. We've all got demons, just gotta choose what we do with them.
Wow, that's actually solid.
That seems like something he might say. Just from what I remember.
I don't think he's said it in any of the games.
Just from what I remember about Dante's character, that does seem like something he would say.
Especially at the point of the series, especially at the point of timeline where DMC1 is.
Yeah. Trish smiles. The two walk toward a dark skyline. Cut to black. Devil May Cry in Gothic font. Fade out. Post-credit scene. In a remote corner of the demon world, a shadowy figure stands. Virgil, resurrected, wearing a long blue coat. He opens glowing eyes.
Bro. Imagine if that post-credit scene went anywhere.
Yeah. Probably for... Well, Okay, does DMC4 take place after 1? Or is it between 3 and 1? Or is it between 1 and 2?
I'm not sure. Give me a second.
In the meantime, the AI is asking if I'd like a full treatment, a full narrative treatment, or scene-by-scene breakdown. Which do you want to go with?
Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna have you repeat that after what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But it says the main games. It goes as follows: 3, 1, 2, 4, 5.
Okay.
So anyway, what were you saying?
I was saying, so now the AI is prompting me with, would you like a full narrative, a full treatment? So the full story in like a treatment form, like a full plot synopsis, like the synopsis section for a movie on Wikipedia, or a scene by scene breakdown.
Would that include dialogue and monologue?
I don't think it would include. If it did, it would be heavily spaced out. It would be like going into further detail of what happens with each scene, as it goes from scene to scene.
Let's just go with the Wikipedia plot synopsis one.
Let's see, a full treatment based on the outline you've provided. Alright. This is a full treatment for the Devil May Cry film adaptation based on the outline we developed. You developed, AI! I didn't do shit. This treatment expands the story beats into detailed cinematic sequences highlighting tone, visual style, and emotional arcs. It's written in a way that could be used for pitching to producers or developing into a screenplay. Okay. Opening sequence. The film opens on a rainy night in an unnamed city. Lightning cracks over rooftops. A man walks into a dilapidated church, boots echoing on wet stone. Inside, he confronts a monstrous priest mid-transformation. The man is Dante, late 20s, trench coat, silver hair tips. Silver hair tips? How very 2000 of you. So you gave Dante frosted tips. Good job. And a massive sword. He dispatches the demon in a stylish blur of bullets and blades, quipping, "Bless me, Father," as blood sprays across a crucifix.
Okay, repeat those last few words.
Dispatches the demon in a stylish blur of bullets and blades, quipping, "Bless me, Father," as blood sprays across a crucifix.
Oh, God.
You know, the sad part is I could actually see that happening.
Yeah, that's very in line with Dante's character.
Title card, Devil May Cry. Montage follows. Snippets of news reports, demonic symbols, and old photographs referencing the mysterious demon knight Sparta. We see a Gothic island fortress on the horizon, Mallet Island.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it bad? I'm a religious man. I still like these games.
I mean, you're killing demons to prevent them from invading the world. And overtaking all of humanity.
Most pastor fathers would approve.
Alright.
Because I already showed you that meme. I was like, Dad, can I get Doom? My father, who's a pastor. No, you kill demons. my dad. I'll allow it. And it's Ken Jeong from one of those Hangover movies, like, I'll allow it. Anyway,
All right.
where were we?
Next scene. Dante returns to his office. Devil May Cry, a crumbling, neon-lit relic. He drinks, broods, and stares at a dusty photo of his parents. Suddenly, the door bursts open. In walks Trish, a beautiful pale woman with piercing eyes. She knows about Dante's past, his father Sparta, and the demon Mundus who killed his mother. She claims Mundus is returning. His army is gathering on Mallet Island. She needs Dante's help. He's skeptical until she reveals her face, which was modeled after Eva, Dante's mother. Intrigued and disturbed, Dante agrees. I would like to think that Trish would reveal her face, but not say jack shit about her design origins.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure in the game she's unaware she was modeled after Eva.
Yeah, she would reveal, show her face, reveal herself, her full facial, her full face, and give Dante that subtle gut reaction, and then do that slow pan over to the picture of Dante's parents and lasering in on Eva.
Right.
Okay, so now we go into Mallet Island. Dante rides a jet ski hybrid motorcycle boat across a stormy sea. The island rises before him like a nightmare, crumbling spires, broken statues, and endless fog. Inside the Gothic fortress, Dante and Trish are attacked by demonic marionettes. He slices and shoots his way through a balletic, I never know how to pronounce that fucking word, display of violence. The camera lingers on grotesque architecture, whispering statues, and walls that seem to breathe. They uncover carvings of Sparta, who sealed the underworld 2,000 years ago. But things go wrong. Trish disappears. Dante finds a massive sealed door and hears a chilling voice whisper his name. Mundus knows he's here. That's a lot to digest.
Yeah. Just try not okay. I had to think for a second before I retort. Hang on. Just don't get indigestion. It like what happens when I decided I'm going to down a whole plate of pizza rolls just because I'm hungry and then regret it 2 hours later. But enough about that. Let's move on.
Alright. Now starting into Act 2, Dante begins exploring deeper into the castle. Its labyrinthine halls filled with puzzles, booby traps, and living shadows. He finds Sparta's journal, revealing the guilt he felt abandoning his sons to a human life. Flashbacks show Dante as a child, his twin Virgil, and the fire that consumed their home. Now, see, if I were to do a flashback scene, I would maybe hide Virgil until it's time for the big reveal. But maybe not.
Yeah.
Now I'm the one talking out of his ass. Anyways.
You're good.
Suddenly a black knight descends. Nilo, Angelo. They clash in a stunning sword duel, but Dante is overpowered. The knight nearly kills him, but hesitates, whispers, "Brother," and then vanishes. Dante is left broken and shaken. And considering the kind of character Dante is, it would have to be something significant to leave him broken and shaken.
Right.
Oh. At least from what I remember of him.
Anyway.
Anyways, next up, next scene, Trish finds Dante, helps him recover. She confesses she was created by Mundus to resemble Eva to lure Dante into a trap, but she's begun to feel regret, fear, and compassion. Dante is furious and hurt. You're not her, you're just another mask he wears. He storms off toward the heart of the island. Just another mask he wears, I assume he's talking about Mundus.
Discord doesn't stop shitting the bed.
I don't have to reread it, do I?
Nah.
Alright.
If anything, I can always. I plan on going back and rewatching the stream anyway.
Okay. Alright.
They're decent background noise for sleeping.
Well, I don't mean that they're boring. I mean that it's something to listen to sleep.
Right.
Because we have the TVs going for tonight.
Alright. Next scene, Dante reaches the cathedral's undercroft, a vast demonic vault sealed by 3 guardians. He fights a monstrous 3-headed Cerberus-like demon. The battle is vicious, grotesque, and operatic. He claims the final key and unlocks the gate to the underworld. Notice no mention of Trish in this version. No mention of Trish trying to stop him from walking through the portal.
Okay, this is not sounding the same as when it was initially written.
Well, they're assuming let's just say the AI has the memory of a goldfish sometimes.
That's all AI.
Yeah, half the time it feels like it has the memory of Guy Pearce's character from Memento.
That's just bro.
Alright. Next scene, Dante enters a void of floating ruins and hellish energy. The demon world is surreal, filled with screaming walls and rivers of ash. He sees echoes of the past, Eva burning, Virgil pleading, Sparta silently watching. He reforges his broken sword into Force Edge, the weapon of his father. No mention of Sparta saying, what was the line they gave Sparta? Power must serve purpose.
Apparently Virgil heard that use my power to try and take over the fucking world.
But now he's got his father's sword, so.
Yep.
Dante reaches a twisted throne room. Nilo Angelo awaits. Their rematch is fierce. This time Dante fights with fire. I assume he means metaphorically. He knocks the knight down and breaks his helmet, revealing Virgil, warped by Mundus's power. Dante begs him to remember who he is. Virgil briefly falters, but Mundus, through black tendrils, impales him. Dante cradles him as Virgil dies, whispering, "It's not over."
Yeah, he has to come back for the sequel.
Or
a prequel.
Yeah,
or a prequel, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, to steal a quote from Duke Nukem Forever, "Guess he won't be in the sequel." I need to play that on the channel, because I actually like that game a lot. I know a lot of people shit on it, and there's a lot to shit on about it, but I personally enjoy it.
I still need to play some Duke Nukem.
Yeah, although I am a little biased, because that was the first Duke Nukem game I ever played, like, from start to finish.
I think there might be a Duke Nukem game on PS Plus. I'll have to look.
If it is, it's either going to be Duke Nukem 3D or Duke Nukem Forever. Because I doubt any of the PS1 titles are on there.
Yeah, the PS. I think there were Duke Nukem games on PS3, which I can probably stream.
The only Duke Nukem game that was on PS3, to my knowledge, is Duke Nukem Forever. All right,
Meanwhile, I'm still wondering why Resident Evil 4 Remake got a PS4 release but not an Xbox One release.
Right.
Well, then again, PS4 is always better graphic running than Xbox One. Because I think Xbox One was 720 and PS4 was always 1080p. Really been 12 years since we got the PS4.
Okay, so now
which you can find at first because, well, the great console shortage of 2020, but that's in the past. Let's move on.
Yeah. So next up, the final battle. Mudus manifests a massive, angelic, demonic titan of molten eyes and skeletal wings. His voice shakes the realm. I mean, if I had a voice like Keith David, I'd definitely be shaking some realms. Trish arrives to find her creator and gives Dante Eva's pendant. Again, I think the opportune time for her to give it to him would be like before he enters the demonic realm, but what do I know? I'm not a screenwriter or an AI. At least I hope I'm not AI.
Well, if you were, I'd have to stop talking to you.
All your games belong to us. No.
Oh, fuck off, Johnny.
No, actually. I'm
sorry, what?
Actually.
In my talons, I shape clay, crafting life forms as I please. Around me is a burgeoning empire of steel. From my throne room, lines of power careen into the skies of Earth. My whims will become lightning bolts that devastate the mounds of humanity. Out of the chaos, they will run and whimper, praying for me to end their tedious anarchy. I am drunk with this vision. God, the title suits me well.
Okay.
I couldn't resist. I had to find a Shodan clip.
Well, you found a reason to use it.
Yes. In my talons, I shape clay. Dude, System Shock would make a sick sci-fi horror film.
I thought about buying the remake at some point.
I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I started playing the original, but I never finished it.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I've only seen gameplay of the original, but the remake looks pretty good. And I think I can also get the second one if I wanted to, but I don't think it's a full-fledged remake. I think it's just a remaster, like an HD remaster of the actual original game.
It is.
Who knows? Maybe a remake is on the way.
Possibly.
Because wasn't there like another House of the Dead 2 trailer recently?
Yeah, the House of the Dead 2 remake comes out next month.
Thought it was spring, you fuckheads.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be spring, but it never got an official release date until like a week or two ago, where it was like, okay, now it's coming out August 7th.
Believe it when I see it. Believe it when I see it.
Yeah. But anyways. With renewed power, Dante unleashes his devil trigger. His demonic side bursts forth in a blaze of red lightning. The final battle is a reality-warping aerial clash. Swords, light beams, and demonic fire ripping through space. Finally, Dante pierces Mundus's core with Force Edge, screaming, "This is for them." Mundus shatters. I assume them being Sparta, Eva, and Virgil. And probably Trish, too.
Yep. Probably.
Alright. Epilogue. The demon world crumbles. Dante and Trish escape back to the real world as the portal collapses. On the shore, Dante sits alone, exhausted. Trish approaches, uncertain if she still belongs. Dante throws her a spare gun. We've all got demons. Just gotta aim the right way. Or just gotta aim at them the right way. They walk off together. Actually, it says, we've all got demons, just gotta aim them the right way.
I thought you said something about lining off.
They walk off together. They walk off together, bathed in dawn's crimson light. Title card, cube metal gothic credits track.
Oh no, you said walking. I thought I heard blocking. Logging.
Post-credit scene, in a corner of the demon world, a hand emerges from rubble. Virgil, reborn, stares upward, his eyes glowing blue. Cut to black.
Oh, brother.
Huh.
In other words, your average cinematic universe post-credit scene.
Yeah. Now, personally, I hate post-credit scenes. I feel like you should just get everything out before the credits roll.
Sorry, what?
I personally hate post-credit scenes. In my opinion, you should just get everything out before the credits roll.
I have to admit, there are some good post-credit scenes out there.
Well, I grew to hate them working as a movie theater usher because you know, when you're an usher and you're cleaning up the auditoriums, you're on a very tight schedule, and sometimes those auditoriums are huge and there's a lot of mess to clean up, and sometimes it's just you who's cleaning them up. So and people are coming in because they don't know that you're cleaning, and it doesn't matter if you were to put a sign out front that says currently cleaning, people would still walk in because people are fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And then you add in people staying for the end credits of every single movie that comes out thinking there's a stinger at the end, even when it makes no fucking sense to put one there. So, yeah.
Well,
just
sorry, what?
it's like, at that point, just fuck off already.
About the only post-credit scene I really got excited over was the post-credit scene for Kong Skull Island, where we see cave paintings of Godzilla, Kong, Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and one where Godzilla fought King Ghidorah, and then we hear Godzilla's roar. And let's just say that there was almost an additional mess that person would not have wanted to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you know me, I'm the Godzilla guy, so that's understandable.
Oh my god, the amount of times that people would take their large bucket of popcorn and just dump it out on the floor and walk away because their thought process is, "Hey, let the guy who's cleaning up earn their money." Like, really? That's your thought process? Give me a
Kiss my
favor.
sweaty balls, you fat fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna play that again. Just do me a favor.
Kiss my sweaty balls, you fat fuck.
My God.
I went on such a tear that we lost a viewer. That's funny.
That we lost two?
I went on such a tear that we lost a viewer. That's hilarious.
No, I don't know what to say.
That's all right. Do you want to? Okay, so since it's almost 8 o'clock, do you want to keep going with this, or do you want to save it for another stream and let's work in a reaction or two?
Since screen share is still shit in the bed, I think we should think about capping it just for now.
All right. All right, that's
Hopefully
fair.
next week. Hopefully next week there's an update, and the screen share will actually frickin' work.
Yeah. If there is, I am available to stream next Friday.
Sounds like a plan if I can make it.
Yeah. If not, I have no problems flying solo. I'll just have to alter the name. I'll just have to alter the title of the stream.
I seriously doubt I'll have anything going on, so we'll see.
Okay. Random Gamer, are you still hanging out down there?
No, it's cool, bro.
Yeah, because I noticed he's been quiet for a while.
Oh god, I hope he's not the viewer we lost.
That would be hilarious. Well, I mean,
I actually like him.
if he is, it's probably because something came up. Because we're
And that's understandable.
we're not everybody's life.
Yeah, we're not talking shit.
All right. All right. Well, he's not responding so far, so he might have been the one who dipped out. That's okay though. That's okay
Yeah,
though.
he's still. It's not like he unsubscribed or anything.
Yeah, no. But yeah, we could go for this again. We could do some more of this next week. Possibly try to work in a reaction or two. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to alter the title of this stream.
Yeah, we should look at more car crashes.
Yes, more fails. I know Chat Music has had some new updates, some new uploads.
Yeah. But people who tuned in, we appreciate it.
Yep.
We were gonna hop back in and watch this again later anyway.
Yeah. If you're still here, yeah. Kaysen is currently running a Resident Evil 4 playthrough on his channel, the original Resident Evil 4, and the link to his channel is in the description box of this stream.
Yeah, there's a public playlist on my channel you guys can find. But the last part went up today. And the sneak peek at the next playthrough goes up on Sunday.
Sweet.
And part 1 will be up Tuesday.
My playthrough of the X-Men arcade game from Konami goes up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then
Check that out.
going to YouTube. And then my playthrough of Aliens, the arcade game, also made by Konami, goes live next Monday, I plan on doing like a full reveal video for my book that I've been working on over on Wattpad. I plan on doing the full trailer, on making a full like reveal thing for that for next week, for like next Thursday or Friday. And then starting with July 28th this year, starting with the 28th of this month, The Last of Us Part 2. We are I currently have 6 videos. I currently have the first 6 videos scheduled to go live. And I have enough footage collected so far to post a 7th video when I can. So that'll be fun. Ish.
Right.
Like right now, I'm currently doing all of my gaming on my days off to avoid burning myself out too hard. And I'm actually getting a lot more done that way. Who knew that? And I'm feeling a lot more relaxed in the process. Who knew not forcing myself to play during day after I just come home from working 8-9 hours would actually be better for my health. So yeah. Expect this series to take off within the next few weeks. I am currently working on, and I'm going to do a community post about this, currently working on the Abby chapters, the second half of the game. So that's...
AKA bullshit. AKA a bunch of bullshit.
AKA a bunch of gaslighting. And once again, if you like pulpy action thrillers in the style in the vein of Dirty Harry, Death Wish, Cobra, follow the Wattpad link in the description box to check out my debut novella. New chapters will be going up every Thursday morning. And currently the prologue and the first 2 chapters are available. So have yourselves a ball.
I know what I'm reading tonight.
Actually,
as far as I know, Wattpad doesn't require an account.
Actually, you know what? Fuck new chapters going up every Thursday. New chapters going up when I fucking feel like it, just like my videos.
Wait, what?
Fuck trying to keep to a schedule of new chapters going up every Thursday. Just new chapters up when I'm working, as I work on them. Like 1 chapter at a time, just because, you know.
Yeah.
So I might actually post another chapter before I go to bed tonight, and post another one tomorrow morning. We'll just have to see.
Do what works for you.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to know, yes, this image is in fact actually, you know what? Fuck doing it in the window. Fuck doing it in the window. Let's just add image, browse. Alright. Transform, fit to screen. Put that. There we go. So yeah, before anybody asks, yes, this image is in fact AI generated. It's a placeholder image that I'm using for Wattpad, because I don't feel like paying $20 to a cover artist on Fiverr who's going to use AI anyway.
Yeah, save the money.
Yeah, I'll save the $20. Because $20 saved is $20 saved. But if I can reach a point where I am able to actually sell it as a full novel, I will look into commissioning an artist who can design me a cover closer to what I'm aiming for, which is like the style of a 70s 80s pulp thriller novel, pulp action novel, like The Executioner or The Death Merchant.
Right.
And yeah, so if you want to see, if you want no frills, no BS, just classic 70s 80s style pulp, classic 70s 80s style pulpy action story with a lot of heart, head on over to Wattpad, check the Springfield Snatching out. You will not be. I can't say you. Well, I'm sure you will enjoy it. I'm just going to leave it at that before I start running at the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. But, with all that said, hope you guys... Oh, wrong one. There we go. With all that being said, I appreciate everybody who stopped in. Hope you...
As do I.
Yep. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves with this... Yep, let's fix the title of this. Let's fix the title of the stream now. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And we will see you next Friday.
Again.